And we're live. So, hello. It's
Hello.
me
Hi.
and friends.
Hello.
We're playing the role-playing games.
I'm the and in the sentence.
We're not late, you're just early.
We're late, so let's quickly recap and then read beliefs. Who want? I think Rob hasn't recapped in a while. Do you want to?
I haven't recapped in a while. What did we do last session? This is a good question. The things that we have done this last session is... Where did we start?
We started with me talking to Panther.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, now I remember. So we started with Arkan was in the process of talking to Panther because you had a belief about wanting to find out what he was about, and then you made a incredibly dubious deal with him, which is totally not going to backfire and work against you.
It's not backfiring, it's front firing. I got ripped the fuck off.
Yeah, that's true.
But I got fate for it, so who cares?
You did get paid for it. And then we had a bit of a conversation about some stuff. And in order to get ready for the trial, we decided to go off into the forest to look for a monk, which only went slightly hideously wrong because the only thing we found in the forest was Tane. Then we had a really fascinating discussion about philosophy and religion with Tane. And then Tane went off into the forest and we decided to follow him. And unbeknownst to the fact that we were following him, he is trying to currently murder Misata, as far as we can tell. And we ended the session with him climbing up into his grove, preparing to attack him. And we are like literally right behind him.
Yeah. That about sums it up.
Yeah.
Oh, and we found out that he could speak High Realm the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were duped the whole fucking time. Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, I didn't forget. I just neglected to mention.
Um,
I'm sorry, that was a terrible recap. I can barely remember what happened last session because I've been so sick all week.
I remember what
That's
happened.
fair.
That's my excuse.
Wait, have you still been going to work?
Yes.
Wow, trooper.
yeah.
Has everyone else become sick because of your troopering?
Yes.
Yes.
You're a great guy, Rob. Do everyone a favour.
Wow,
Don't
Rob.
keep the sickness to yourself. Spread it around so everyone else can take sickness.
Yeah, and maybe they'll
I
pass
mean,
on to someone else. Maybe
I probably got it off Will, so it seems fair.
To be honest, Will was very ill last week.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for digression.
and he's still ill.
No, I'm feeling all right now. All right. So, the reading of the beliefs.
Yes.
Who goes first?
I guess I will go first.
I don't mind.
Yeah, so my belief number one. Tane must not be allowed to harm Misata, but he is a potentially valuable asset for the future. He must be contained rather than killed if we are to find a successful resolution to this god problem. Belief number two, my value in the courtroom is limited, but I can still aid Viper in revealing Panther's true nature. I will investigate his history and his movements and discover the best way to antagonize him into using his powers. And my belief number three is the Hunt's greatest weapons are swiftness and subterfuge. It would serve us well to remember that.
Okay. All right. Arkan?
My beliefs are belief one, may everything I do exalt my name and Alat's. Belief two, I don't trust Tane, and yet we have no right to kill him. I will seize his weapons so that he will not be able to endanger our mission. Belief three, the people do not need a monk to praise Masata. They will continue to suffer until they give the god the praise he rightly deserves and beg him to heal them of their pain.
Nice. And Viper.
Hello. Belief 1, the realm stands above all else. Belief 2, Masada is an important figure to the people of this land. Tain intends to harm him, but is that really his true intention? Question mark. I shall discover his intentions. If he intends to hurt Masada, he must be stopped. Belief 3, the trial for Pansper is on its way. I shall convince the people of his crimes and challenge him to honorable combat.
Alrighty. So, yes, when we left off, you had followed Tain through the forest, through the sanctuary of Masata, and he climbed the hill up to the god's sanctum and withdrew from his back a great Bardish axe. And it was at that point that we cut away. Now, we had a chat out of game or off stream that it makes sense probably for Arkan to be there as well.
Yeah.
Partly because we mucked up the order on who was following who, or who was observing and who should have been stealthy. But also just because it makes more sense if everyone can actually know and be in the right place to action their beliefs. Because otherwise we'd have a repeat of what happened a couple sessions ago where Arkan had to like run through the forest for a while before he could catch up with everyone else.
It's just because Arkin really needs to work out more. He doesn't work out enough.
He is quite slow.
In
Relatively
what
slow.
sense?
All right. So, with all of that said, yeah, Arkan is there with you, and I suppose your Shikari should be as well.
I think we could leave them.
It's up to you. I don't mind.
How does everyone feel? Do we
I
want?
feel like the Shikari shouldn't be along for this.
Yeah.
Like, they're not. Like, I feel like if you're doing any sort of sneaking after someone, you need to at least have a pretense at reducing the number of people doing sneaking.
Yeah, because of slowest and loudest.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, he withdraws his axe and starts goes into a bit of a crouch and starts moving towards the center of the hill. So what are the rest of you doing?
I look to eel in mouth. I have to. I can't really mouth because I've
As
got
a
a mouth
reminder,
guard.
it's nighttime.
Oh well.
In case you'd forgotten.
I like whisper to eel. Shall we follow after him then?
Sorry, say that again.
Shall we follow after him then? I say whispering.
Yeah, stage whisper, because I can't actually hear you properly when you whisper.
Shall we follow after him?
I am already making to follow.
Okay, then I just follow after. I follow after eel. Meanwhile, Viper is thinking, haha, I know you can be trusted.
Okay. And then Arkan, are you following too, I take?
The place that like he's going into only has one exit, as far as we know, right?
Not really. It's like it's on top of a hill, so it has
Oh.
infinite exits.
Sure. No, I guess yeah, I'll go with them. If we want to do more interesting things, we can do it when we actually see what he's up to.
Yeah. Okay. We will say. I'll say that the stealthy rides like for just a little bit longer, but like any major changes that get made from here on outwards, let's say, will probably result in a retest, if necessary. So, Tane, you observe Tane as he moves forwards, and he approaches the tree that is Masata, which, just as reference, resembles like two humanoid-shaped trees leaning back to back with a face or a sort of pale mask type structure between the two smalls of their backs, facing outwards. And the there's no like immediate response from Masata. This presence has not woken him up. There is, it's probably the rest of you are maybe surprised by this as well. The god appears to be sleeping, which is not something that gods are typically known to do, though nobody knows the exact private lives of all gods. But yeah, the face has its eyes closed and doesn't immediately react, let's say, to Tane's presence, which makes you think that he's asleep. Certainly Tane thinks that he's asleep and approaches a few yards away from the face on the tree, and then lays his axe on his, like, goes into a crouch or sits down. First he takes off his cloak and lays it on the ground in front of this tree, folds it once to make a kind of square, and then sits on that with his legs crossed, puts the bardiche across his lap, and puts his palms together and bows, and stays in that position for a moment or two. Thank you for joining us, Zach and C1J10. This is a record number of viewers.
Wow.
Tell your friends, tell your family, show your grandma.
I mean, yeah, we don't have to do that.
No. So I'm gonna say that you guys are sort of maybe 20 paces or more away at this point, but you can just about make out through the gloom that he's like sat down in front of the tree.
But he's not taking any aggressive action.
No, he moved very quickly up the hill with intent, but then when he arrived and saw the tree, he sat down.
Viper whispers, maybe he does not wish to kill a sleeping target. Maybe that sits on his conscience if he has one.
Here is my question. Do we want to watch him longer? See what he does? Wait until we really know from the truth of his actions what he's about? Or should we take him now and force him to answer our questions?
We should wait it, as is a smart course of action.
The moment he takes any aggressive action, we must step in, but it will not harm us to wait for a little while.
Plus, forcing him would be a bad idea. I believe there's more to this teen than just more than just the axe.
I think Arkan is gonna draw his bow and string it. Actually, I think I probably was stringing it when I was walking up the hill.
Sure.
I'm going to pull out an arrow and put it to the bow,
Yeah.
but not draw it.
Just knock it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. After about a minute's silence from Tane, he claps his hands. And says, out loud, startling the god slightly, says, "O Lord, I am come. I am here to render services from you. And Masata, groans awake. A slightly startled expression crosses the mask's face, which, as he wakes up, begins to glow ever so slightly. And you hear Masata reply, "Who are you? How is it you've come to my domain without my noticing?" And Tane says, "I am here to render services from you."
We're getting some really weird feedback.
Yeah, I don't
we
know.
What is happening? I'll try muting each one of you, see what happens.
It was Rob.
It was Rob. Okay.
Ta-da! We found the source.
Rob, you were feedback looping weirdly. He's still muted. Oh, well.
Yeah, hang on. I think I found a problem.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it says, just repeats what he said, basically. Masata frowns a bit and then says, "You have not come alone." And at that, he stands up and readies his axe and kind of looks around suspiciously.
Question to the group. Would it be, I think Viper poses a suggestion that she just walks out and lets you guys hide, and so in order to
before that, if you're even going to pause and hesitate to talk about this, I am already walking out into the center with my
okay,
hands
then
up.
I just follow you.
No, Arkan puts his hand on Viper, for a moment, to stay. Because you both start and then start having the same react, but yeah. or you could, if you really care about this, you could flip a coin and see who gets to go.
Yeah. Or make a speed test or something, yeah. But I think if you're happy to be pulled back, Viper.
I mean, if sure.
Your idea was good, having one person go out. I just agree with Rob that it's I feel like Rob is. I mean, either character works, right? But
Well,
It's
I
either-
would argue that it's an instinctive reaction for Eel to do so.
yeah,
Because I wanted to like go out because my belief is about asking him what he's up to
you
and
will
seeing his
get your
intents.
opportunity, right? We're not robbing you of the opportunity.
I
to
know. I was just saying that like
Mm.
it's fine.
Well,
It's if you want to still go out, you can. I'm just there's a moment where like Arkham puts his hand on you, like on your arm. Right.
Yeah, it's fine. We can continue soon.
I mean, you both have beliefs about it, so if you want to make a versus speed test, I think that's legitimate.
See who
mean,
gets to go
I'm-
first.
Just to see who reacts to like stand up and move
Mm.
first, and then Arkin puts his hand on the loser.
Yeah.
I don't know how important is this to you, Rob. Like,
No, I feel like a versus speed test because you sound like you want to do this.
no,
right?
fine
Versus
with
I mean,
speed
it.
test is an easy way to flip a coin.
Versus speed test is good to me.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it's better
fine
than a
with-
coin flip as well because it's actually representative
Sure,
of your character.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
Although you both have the same speed, so it might be a
I have a
coin
call
toss.
for it.
Only in racing and positioning, I think.
I think this is racing.
Mm,
Well, it's reaction times.
I mean,
It's not really racing.
No.
you're not sure if it. I'm sure if it was. We'll do a 3, 2, 1 then.
Oh, sorry, I
Oh,
didn't
no,
wait
it's
for you to
okay.
finish
No,
counting.
it doesn't matter. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's not minus 1 win, so I
Okay.
I
yeah,
would have
so-
done better, but I only had 3 dice.
Okay, so you can mark a difficult test at least.
Oh yes, that's a difficult speed.
um,
We've
We need to do this
successfully
more often.
completed
Oh, wait, yeah,
our
that's-
turn.
as in Scott can.
Oh wait, yeah, it's only
We
me.
need to
don't
do this more often. Can we do this?
All right. So Rob, you step forward, and the rest, you two, sort of take that distraction to like duck away. I take.
Yeah.
Okay. So Eel steps out. What do you say or do?
I just walk forward with my hands up. I don't say anything.
Okay.
I want to see what his reaction is.
Yeah, Tane turns around to face you. And he kind of chuckles a bit and then jerks his head back towards Masato and says, "They followed me of their own accord. This is not my doing, I assure you." Or he wouldn't say they, he says she, I suppose.
Yeah.
I might say they if he's really suspicious.
He might, but I think in this instance he says she.
Yeah, I think Il just walks forwards and says, just sort of off to, still sort of looking at Tane, just off to one side to Misato, just apologies. The intention was not to startle you. We merely wish to observe what it was that was happening.
Was that to Tane or Masato, sorry?
I'm talking to Masata, but I'm looking at Tane.
Mm.
Like I'm watching him closely, waiting for him to do something.
Yeah, I think Masato doesn't react. Tane says, in low realm still, says, I should have suspected as much. I will freely admit that my being here at such a time is probably very suspicious to the likes of you.
How would you react to that? Consider it less a suspicion and more a curiosity, particularly in how you presented yourself before during our conversation.
He lowers his axe, takes a step forwards and smirks a bit and says, "We are both missionaries.
Please, you were requesting an audience with the Everflying Roots. Do not let me interrupt. I will observe, if that is all right."
I had hoped for a private audience."
It will be as if I was not here.
Sorry, but that's not good enough.
Then perhaps we will let the Everflying Roots decide who should stay and who should remain.
He like turns back. Misato turns his attention towards you, Eel, now, and says, "What news have you, monk, of the town, of the word that you gave when you last came here?"
Remind me out of character what I actually.
So we promised to rid him of the awful people who were draining him of like lifeblood and stringing him along, right?
Yes.
And we've done that very successfully. We also promised him to work on restoring.
Oh
the
yeah,
worship
restoring
of the, people of the town.
the relationship with the town. Yeah.
And you have done nothing with that, and I've done nothing with that. But
Time
we
for
know.
falsehood.
Well, the thing is that like we have a threat in the town.
Yeah, because that I couldn't remember what it was exactly that we'd promised, but now I know what I'm gonna. Yeah.
We have Panther as well.
Eel sort of says, "Regrettably, we have dealt with one threat, but another has emerged. We are working on restoring what is. Okay. We are working on restoring the tribute that is owed, but there is one who would seek to cause problems."
Misata's attention turns back towards Tane and says, "Do you know this man?"
He's asking me if I know Tane.
Yeah.
Oh. We have spoken briefly. He claims to be a missionary and traveler from the north in search of answers.
Misata looks as though he's thinking for a few moments. And while he is, Tane says, "The problems of this town won't be so easily resolved.
Addressing me still.
Yeah.
I think Eel just sort of folds her arms, and I guess there's a moment of like level assessment of that statement, and sort of says, I still have yet to hear any proposal on an alternative solution.
What are Arkan and Viper up to?
I would say we're just watching.
Just in the sidelines.
I think like Viper's like assessing Kane, I guess. Like she's paying very close attention to his like body language, the way just like the way he carries himself basically. She's just like observing him as best as she possibly can.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would say that Eel is trying to be as like she is comfortable and not threatening in any way towards Tane because of the fact that she knows that she has backup.
Yeah.
Are there any animals trying to sneak up on us?
That's a good question.
Is this the kind of question where, like, I ask a question and you're like, "Yeah, that is a good idea."
It's it's more like that as soon as we talk about it, there's no way of knowing whether there really was to begin with or not.
I think that's a yes.
More in terms of like, if you make an observation roll, then you have to be making it against something, and then, yeah. No, I think in this case,
yeah,
you have a look around. You spend some time looking around. But there's no test because there is nothing to observe. Tane changes the subject and says, how much do you really know about this god, monk?
I think Eel just sort of looks to where Misatra is just sort of thinking and sort of says, I know as much of Misatra as I would know of any other god recorded by the calendar.
I
expressly did not answer his question.
Yeah. He sighs and says, and what do you make of the people in this town? The so-called Uttarka.
I think sort of Eel just sort of spreads in a sort of spreads her arms in like an ambivalent gesture, not quite like a shrug, but just sort of a displaying my hands in front of me, sort of it is what it is sort of expression. And just sort of says, the people of this town are like of any town that turns solely to their own needs in a time of crisis without proper guidance or leadership. The Urtuka are a pitiful side effect. Or so not pitiful, pitiable side effect.
Yeah. Tane frowns, turns back to Masato, and says, more accusingly now, says, "O God, you have upset the way of life in the town below. You have great powers, clearly, but they are being twisted by something. I see it clearly. Masato squints. And Tane continues to say, "What is the sickness within you? Let me aid you. Come with me, Lord. I have many allies who can help you." And Masato turns his attention to Yuil and says, "Monk of the Order, you are a servant of the gods, are you not?"
Resisting the urge to quibble, she nods.
"This man's presence displeases me.
May I ask why?
It is not your place to question. You are a servant. If your devotion to me is true, remove him from my presence."
How is Tane taking being ignored?
Tane looks at you and says, "I know it is dark outside, monk, but surely you see clear as day. Something here is amiss."
I assume he means he's referring in a broad sense.
Yes.
Yeah. We are in agreement, yes. There is something that is... There's something indeed that affects... Oh, fuck. I've already forgotten the... No, not the... We had a word for it. It's in my thing. Something that is indeed disrupting the natural almanac. I had wondered myself, perhaps what this cause might be.
Tane says, Hmm. He says, "Where are your allies, monk?"
I would like to look at him quizzically and sort of, I guess she doesn't say what allies, but she sort of like looks at him and just sort of says, "You mean the rest of my squad?"
Yes. Where are they?
I would assume on the way back to the town.
I would assume they're here. Nearby. Where are they?
I sort of like gesture
Masata,
into.
between this, then says, "Obey
think this
me,
is the-
monk."
Yeah, there's a lot of people quibbling over things here.
Yeah.
Um,
Right, let's end this quibbling.
Yeah, I think Viper just walks out like both hands like kind of near like on her sword handles, like not kind of grabbing them, but kind of more like resting on them.
I think Arkan is conspicuously putting his arrow and his bow away.
yeah.
Viper says, "Hello, Tane.
Excuse me.
Lovely to see you in such a place. Are you enjoying the night?"
Thank you for being more open with Eel.
Yes, I had a fright that we may have had to, if you attempted to harm us, things may have not gone so well.
I think it's clear that none of us quite understand what it is you want. Let
I think
us all speak openly so that we can find the best path.
I'm glad that my esteemed colleagues believe you are so well placed as to give up such a tactical advantage as remaining hidden in the bushes.
Well, come on, Eel, do not take digs. We are.
I'm just like giving you the look that it's just like, bitch, what?
I swear.
You fucking coming at me with this shit after everything you pull?
She just Viper stone faced and says, "So, what is it you really are up to here, Tane? From what I've gathered, you intend to heal the god of some kind of poison?"
He, while you're saying this, as you're conspicuously putting your bow away, Ollie, he's like reaching back and putting his axe, tying it onto the bit of leather cord on his bag. Says, "You all put far too much trust in the things that you only see with your eyes."
Such as?
He shakes his head.
In the meantime, I assume that Misatra is getting quite distressed and annoyed at me, so I'm gonna do my best in Old Realm to try and speak to him and assure him that Tane will be removed once we have determined what it is that he is, what it is that he wants.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to make an Old Realm test for Masata. See if he understands what you said.
Sorry, I
that's
made
very
the
interesting.
assumption that all gods spoke Old Realm.
Yeah, that's a
This is
correct.
very interesting.
Yeah, okay, that is a yeah.
Oh, this is a great test. Oh my god.
I'm not.
So-
gonna, I
So
give it
success
feelings if I know
is he can
fantastic-
speak Old Realm, I guess, and
Yeah.
failure is he can't.
Yeah.
I okay, I feel as if I know what's going on, but Viper, why do you know nothing?
So an ancient languages test. Unfortunately for you guys, he might pass this because Old Realm is the most common ancient language.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like,
Why is that? Unfortunately, we
Well-
want him to be able to understand us.
Yes, I suppose.
I mean,
I already.
tells us a lot if
Depending
he
on
can't.
what your yeah, it tells you a lot if he can't. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he's even making this test tells you something. I suppose.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell us anything in character.
We see
Right.
We still
Masata
don't.
full
We
out
still don't know.
We see Masata vomit dice from his mouth.
We still don't know that. We still don't know that Tane can speak High Realm. So,
Yes, that's
like,
true.
I feel like we ought to be awarded fate for like telling him all our plans in High Realm.
yeah, probably.
Um,
Okay, so I'm gonna say it's an OB2 ancient languages test. Which is going to be
Easy.
kind of hard. So it'll be OB4 because
Oh yeah, beginners locking fucking
beginner
ancient
locking.
Oh
languages.
my god, he is
who
beginner's like wow.
who
Okay.
has ancient languages? No one.
yeah.
Believe it or not, actually not me.
Oh, had it.
Wait, you don't have ancient languages?
No. Oh no, sorry. Yes, I do.
Okay, I was gonna
It's-
say
no,
you
it's like
can't-
foreign
you can't
languages.
speak in Old Realm then if you don't have it.
Yeah, no, I have a B3 in ancient languages.
See,
I'm really fucking good at
had
ancient
it,
languages.
but
Yeah.
look where that got her.
Um.
I
Dead.
don't know why I thought I didn't have ancient languages. It's because it wasn't the first thing in my list, but it's because Almanac is first.
Oof. Okay, he's spending fate. Nope. Okay.
Nope. Okay.
Mazada doesn't respond to your words in Old Realm. In fact,
I try
Mazada-
again in
yeah,
case I wasn't clear.
Yeah, like there's lots of like tangential conversations happening now. The one that you were having with Masata though goes quiet. He just stops responding to anything you're saying.
So yeah, I guess we'll do a bit of chat with Tane, and then you can interrupt with this new
Yeah.
information.
I mean,
Yeah.
this was just trying to keep Masata out of this conversation.
I think
which is
we
now
can
worked.
assume that like I think we can assume that Eel puts two and two together and like realizes that something's wrong that he doesn't.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I think Viper says to Teen in the meantime. So you're saying that there is obviously more than meets the eye here, is it? Well, it's fairly obvious something's wrong with the god. A little bit of sickness. Is he just not responding?
Tane, who's now
Tane
finished.
responds with ooh ah 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 ah.
Tane has finished putting his axe away and says, Viper,
Yes.
we had a very interesting conversation not too long ago, all
believe
of
we
us,
did.
but you didn't contribute too much. Tell me, what do you put the most faith in this world?
Well, that is the realm, of course. And then, secondly, I put myself.
Why?
Why? Because I believe, if you're asking why I believe in the realm the most, is because I believe that it can be so much more than it already is. And for myself, I believe that I still have more to do. And I am not a finished project.
And he starts to, while you're saying that, he's unlatched, or unlatched is the wrong word. He's yeah, basically he's got his bow out and is stringing it whilst you're saying that.
Is he pointing it at?
No, he's just stringing it.
He's
So
stringing-
he's like bussing it up against his foot and pulling the string taut, and yeah.
See. Why?
He was listening to what you were saying.
Yeah, I say, like, why does he ask such a question?
Oh, right, yeah. He says, Because I find that it is knowing these things is the best way to judge a person.
What do you put your faith in, Tane?
Action.
It's
And with
very.
that, he runs away.
No, I'm gonna.
Or begins to try and run away.
Before he does,
Sure.
there's something I think
The fuck
needs
is he doing? Oh my
needs to
god!
be-
This
there's some-
guy's the worst. He doesn't even he doesn't even follow through on what he wants to do. Like he's just bullshitting us. He's just wasting our time.
There's something I feel it's important to determine, and that's whether or not Tane understands what it is that I'm saying.
I don't know.
What you were saying to Misato in
To
Old
Misato.
Town.
Yeah.
I mean, you were basically just saying, like, calm down, dude, right?
Not necessarily, because the thing I'm trying to say is, the thing I was trying to explain was that, we are trying to ascertain what it is that Tane wants, because he claims to want to help you. That was my method of calming him.
Okay, right. Yeah, I mean, we can make the test if you're just curious.
Yeah, just because I feel like it. I don't know whether it will affect like what he does if I say that.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Wait.
Because up until the point that Eel realizes that Masato doesn't understand Old Realm, Eel is starting to believe that, hang on, maybe something can be brokered between Tane and Masato here, but then it's going to start to fall apart depending on who understands what.
Right, yeah. Okay, so Tane knows what you said to Misato.
Okay.
Um,
Does that affect the way he behaves?
hmm.
Because I'm definitely conveying the idea that maybe he is to be trusted.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, you're right. Okay, yeah. Let's cut back then to Viper asking what he believes in.
Yeah.
And his response then instead is I think he still says action, but he doesn't bolt this time. Yeah. A different kind of action.
Respectable.
Yeah, and then he follows that up by says, the people of this world have no end to their turmoils. Their faith is often the only thing that drives them. But I've seen blind faith many a time.
A very good song by Jason Status.
Viper, do you believe in the realm because that is what you've been told to believe in? Or is it your own words?
How would she know the difference?
A fair point.
I
But what do you think?
Well, I believe it is my own words. I've seen Well, you hear stories of people who run from the realm who do not come back. Mm. Hmm. I believe anyone who turns away from such an empire that may be great is a fool. Not because I've been told, but because I have thought many times over this.
He says, he says now, I don't know what's wrong with this god. But I know that in all of my travels, I have never seen effects rendered on a people similar to those seen in the Earthdarka of this town.
You have a point, Tane. Though I am not as well traveled nor as educated as you may be, I deduced in some sense that what the Earthdarka were experiencing were something akin to what I've heard of which the Wyld does to people. The way it transmutes them in horrific.
Tell me, Tane, what would you accomplish here? If we had not been following you, what was it you would have asked? You've missed your chance to ask that in peace, I think.
He turns to the god and says, O Lord, come with me. Come with me so that I may heal you. Else I will take your silence, your reluctance. Actually, he's saying this in Old Realm.
Okay.
So Eel, you
Oh,
understand.
okay, yeah.
Can
So
I?
he says, no, I think for these purposes it doesn't matter, but for thematic purposes, I think it matters. It says, "Come with me, O Lord. Let me heal you. Also, I will take your reluctance or your silence." As notion that you do not want to be healed.
At this point, hearing him address in Old Realm, I will turn to Tane and say, "You speak Old Realm to your gods back home." Like as a question, you speak Old Realm to your gods back home?
He nods.
I think then it's sort of like it goes clink 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 clink, and Eel's like, right, okay, shit's fucked here. At which point Eel will switch back to whatever it was that we were using to converse with him before, and say, uh, uh, oh, yeah, no, hang on. What she was going to say, she now can't say because, yeah, language switch. It would do for you to answer his question.
Addressed at Masato, I take.
Yes.
Um,
Because he now has to admit that he didn't understand the question.
Hmm.
And if he doesn't, something's up.
Masato looks at the four of you in front of him, and says, "Your presence here is no longer welcome."
I would like to whisper, like lean in and like saying to Yale's ear, kind of, and well, whispering basically. Shall we do something, or do we just leave like this?
I think Eel will hold up, like, as a response to that, will just hold up a hand. Like, just sort of a stay there for a moment gesture. Turn to Tane and say, if you had a plan in Old Realm, if you had a plan, you had best explain it now and quickly.
I feel like you ought to explain. Like, I feel like telling him that the god doesn't understand Old Realm.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's noticed.
He probably hasn't noticed because,
Yeah. Because he's been talking to Viper as well, which has probably been distracting.
Yeah, okay, so I guess, like, I say that, and he turns to me and looks at me confused, and I will respond with, he cannot understand a word we are saying, and that suggests to me that something more is wrong here.
Hmm. He nods and is about to say something when Masato cuts across you all and bellows, "I said leave!" And at that, you see some, like, you each begin to see, like, little glints of light from Masato's slightly glowing face get reflected off of some orbs leering in from beyond the trees around you.
Oh, lovely. I lean into both of them and say, could you please hurry this up? I do not want to be killed by whatever those are there.
And you had best draw your weapons.
I draw them. Well, let's hurry then.
Animals, lions, tigers,
Bears, oh my.
dinosaurs, start prowling into the dim light in front of you all, growling, and Masato is growling with them. Tane takes a step back and raises his bow up and says, in Old Realm, kind of cutting across, says, "There's no time to explain anymore."
Do we kill? I say to him, do we kill? You know who?
He said in Old Realm, so you can't.
Oh,
That was in
yeah.
Old Realm, yeah.
Oh, well, right.
So he is raising his bow and pointing at Masato.
No, he's raising his bow in like, well, no, he's pointing it at like one. He's just like raising it in like anticipation of something.
Yeah, it's
about
like
to
the
happen.
we're about to be jumped.
Yeah.
Um, I guess my response to that is engage or retreat.
Tane starts to run.
Okay.
I'm
Then
gonna
I
run
will signal a
after-
retreat.
No, I'm running after Tane. Like, fuck this. Like, I think that Tane is.
I follow. I'm
Yeah.
also following
Yeah,
after
well-
Tane, but like I think-
I'm giving the order to retreat as a group.
Okay, so Tane starts to run, and
And
Eel yells retreat.
Yeah, but
Arkan starts
I'm going
chasing
in the
Trick.
same direction as Tane.
Okay, right.
yeah.
No, I am chasing Tane, and I am going to try and tackle him to the ground.
Okay.
Okay.
I am retreating under the impression that he is now our ally.
Right. So there's some mixed signals.
Yes, this is fine.
This is fine. Is Viper trying to run Tane down as well, or just
No,
running
Viper's not
after?
trying to run Tane down, but I think it's obvious.
Arkan is shouting, "Viper, get him!"
Viper
In
looks at
high
him and says,
realm.
"Arkan, he's not a threat at the moment. Leave him. If you
Are
could
you
turn around."
kidding? Like, are you kidding? This is the most sketchy, dodgy thing. Like, we've had this whole conversation, and he's been starting to talk in Old Realm, and at that moment, right, all of the animals come out the woodwork, and we're like, okay, clearly he has said something really sketch.
I think Viper just kind of like points at like makes a motion to Eel as they're running and is like, Eel isn't tackling him down. Follow the leader as you usually do.
No, I'm the lead. Like, I'm definitely
Yeah,
behind him.
he's the leader.
Like, I definitely think that like Arkham was spending this whole time. I was gonna say I'm spending this whole time doing this, but there's no point because it would have just interrupted the flow. But I've just been waiting for him to do something. I've been like crouching, like the whole like sort of taking really small steps towards him, like a
Right,
cat.
yeah. Okay.
Um,
I think this is going to turn into a range and cover then, with you chasing, like, Tane running away, you guys chasing Tane, and animals chasing all of you.
So what part do I play in this? Because I'm not really on Tane's team and not really on anybody else's team.
well, we're trying to keep up with like Tane's goal is to get away from us, right? I think implied by the action that it's three teams.
Yes, Tane's intent is to get away from everyone.
Okay.
So
in order to be representative, our intent has to be keep up with Tane, and anything else can come up after that.
Yeah, I guess your intent is avoid animals, catch Tane.
Yeah.
And the animal's intent is catch anyone.
Yeah. Okay. Just because I want it to be obvious that I'm not, because I'm not going to contribute to anything that involves like tackling Tane to the ground, because I'm still convinced that he's on our team.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's true is another question.
I think as far as Viper's concerned, she just wants to keep up with him.
Okay.
So yeah,
Just let them
our
talk
objective
him.
currently is keep up with. The tackle can come later on somebody else's turn.
Yeah. Role playing game.
Not that I'm opposed to tackling him to the ground. I'm just saying I'm not contributing any help dice to that action.
Yeah. Okay. Where's my range and cover quick sheet? There it is.
Oh God, books. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, mine's actually here.
I always have my book at my side because
Mine was covered in
we wanna
Reese's
take-
Pieces until about 10 minutes
The
Do you
ago.
want to take an actual 5-minute break?
Oh,
Yes,
I wouldn't mind getting a cup
um,
of tea because I've been coughing for like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's take a break and let's set this up properly.
right.
Cool.
Okay, so while we're on a break, I think I have an idea of what's going on. Out of game, in game, Viper
Could
has
it be
no
really
clue.
quick? Because I actually need a break.
Oh, well, then you go for your break.
No, I
Hurry.
wanna hear your idea.
No, you hear it. No, it's fine. Go.
Are you going to tell me later?
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Cool.
I'll tell him later. See, I don't know if my theory is correct, but I'm gonna think on it. And my theory is very much just that this isn't Misata. This is a fake. This is a dupe. Range and cover time.
Okay. So we have to just determine the starting distances. Okay, I think everyone starts at optimal range.
Hopefully.
Well, the rule says if everyone's in confined conditions like city streets or indoors, and I would say forest, dense jungle as well, then everyone starts at optimal.
I guess. I guess.
But you're not in an open battlefield or racing down or cautiously advancing, so.
Well, I'm excited to see what who Misata truly is. Because I have suspicions.
Well, you'll have to keep playing to confirm or deny them.
Well, there goes my plans to quit next week. Ugh.
I'm back.
Welcome
Welcome
back.
back. I haven't been on a break yet. But...
Scott, well, I mean, go on your break if you want to, but
Well,
Sure.
go take a break. Go
it's an
hang
option.
on.
go grab a cup of tea.
I'm setting up the conditions.
The conditions can wait.
Oh, good stuff. Scott, tell me your theory.
All it really is that one, that's not Misata. Two, that's some kind of sorcerer pretending to be Misata, because there's I think there's a spell of some kind which allows you to carve your face onto a tree so you can speak through it. And so that's all we've seen of Misata is a face carved onto a tree.
Yeah, I think it's a bit more impressive than that. It's two masks floating in the air and some glowing shit.
I mean, it could be, but I'm going with it's like a sorcerer right now.
Yeah.
I
feel like I feel like the fact that there used to be a different god in this area is something that's really interesting, but we haven't ever explored. Like, I think that was mentioned or implied at some point that Masata was new, inverted commas,
Yeah.
within a given value of new. I don't know how new he is.
Well, I think he's decently newish.
We've never asked anyone, right? And I
Yeah.
don't remember any more than like this is a thing that I thought.
I think it was in the preamble to the whole arc.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we'll probably find out from this guy. I was honestly tempted to just stab Masata's face, like when he
I
started
was thinking
running.
about that as well. When he said action, I was like, he either chops at Masada when he says action or runs away.
I was like,
But
I
then,
honestly,
because I'd already said he'd like put his axe away, I was like, oh shit.
I honestly, like, I would have like at the time, I would have like stabbed Tane, but like now, I would have like
Well,
stabbed
Viper still
Masata.
doesn't really know what's going on.
Yeah,
A lot of this was said in Old Realm.
yeah, but I think like Viper, from her conversation with Tane and like the way Eel is acting, is kind of getting the impression that Tane's not really her enemy.
Yeah.
Like I think she's got like the general feeling that Eel didn't turn around and like turn this man into sashimi, so I think he's okay. In inverted commas.
Yeah.
I can't wait for him to start firing arrows at us just like a complete idiot. That would be the worst idea for him.
Well, he's
I
at
hope
plus
he
2 up.
does. I hope he does, but like I really hope he doesn't for his sake.
Yeah, I was honestly tempted to just like activate like my like flare my anima.
I don't know why. Like I feel like I have no idea what the best way to go through these conversations is.
Just kind of hoping, I guess. That's kind of what I've been doing.
Keeping Tane talking is getting us more information about what he wants, but it also means that he can just do whatever he likes with.
Yeah.
I just want to beat him up.
Don't beat him up.
I want to beat him up.
Look,
I
he's our
don't kill
plot
him.
exposition. We need him.
Listen, right? I'm not like Arcan isn't like Viper. He has more than one level of fighting, right? It's not going straight to murder, right? You can beat people up non-lethally as much as you like.
See, this is why I should start learning the fucking throwing skill. You can
throwing is horrible. Throwing you kill people by accident.
Well,
Yeah.
only if you're bad at it and you
Like
can't
Donati.
open end it with essence.
Donati has accidentally killed like 2 people with throwing.
See, right. Well, you know the worst thing about being a fucking air aspect? All of my damn fucking things are like just like I've got fucking linguistics, lore, occult, stealth, thrown, and dodge. What the fuck am I going to use dodge for?
Like speed tests in fight.
Yeah, you literally just start.
Avoid.
Oh
right?
yes, yeah, in fight. That's really strong. Yeah.
See, I didn't know what that translated to in Burning Wheel, so kind of like it must not
It's
just do
narrative,
anything.
right? It is narratively forward. Like it's
Yeah.
the way that it's divided. Sorry.
So I was just going to say that it's the updated system, which we'll switch to in the next arc, will be more clear. So, yeah. What were you going to say?
Yeah, I was about to start talking about what the updated system was really.
Right. Yeah. It explicitly calls out like when it's a mechanical thing and when it's an interpretive thing.
Yeah.
Because like I don't really have anything for linguistics. I don't.
Well, linguistics, like
Linguistics is languages.
language. Yeah, languages. So that's either knowing languages or it's using languages. So
See,
you can flare
and
your
it-
anima during court or like use essence during court in order to make your speeches better, right?
Yeah,
In order
it-
to make them.
It relates to language tests. It relates to reading and writing, to a degree, research, things like calligraphy and illuminations. All of that falls under linguistics.
I feel like speeches in court you could do it for. I
I'm
feel like
pretty,
Yeah.
a
I'm
normal
pretty
argument
sure
you wouldn't be able to
that's.
because it's not high flown enough, right?
I-
People aren't going to
Mm.
give you the chance to really hold forth.
Yeah, like I would argue that linguistics doesn't fall under that. Not linguistics. Speaking in court doesn't fall under that. That falls more under what I would imagine presence being.
I have returned.
Cool.
Because presence is more addressing crowds and such. So,
Yeah, I mean, like it's an interpretative thing, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to try and use it in a way, then you try and your mysterious sound of the sea has come back, by the way.
Yeah, you're feedback looping again, Rob.
Me?
Yeah.
you.
How strange.
As soon as you came back, it was like.
And then as soon as you talked, it goes down, and then it starts.
It must be a auto sensitivity thing.
Pretty much.
maybe.
I've not got anything like that set up.
You thought you had something working. What did you do last time to change it?
I'm gonna be right back.
I stopped using the headphone mute and started using the Hangout mute.
Okay, well, hang on. Do you normally mute yourself between talking?
I have been tonight because I've been coughing, but
Okay.
Big coughs.
Yeah. I kind of tend to assume that you like. I find it weird that people get feedback loops if they use like a headset, right?
I use a
Yeah.
headset. Yes.
Yeah, I find it weird that you can get a feedback loop in that situation.
Yeah. I don't
It
know.
must be just an auto adjust setting. But...
I regularly mute myself when I'm not talking. Because why did you log me out?
Wait, hang on. Did Will specifically wait until everyone was back to go and take a break? What a great guy.
Well, we told him to.
This is like when you're leaving a restaurant and you'd like, oh yeah, let's all go to the loo before we leave. And then everyone finishes going to the loo and one person is like, okay, no, I'm going to the loo.
Yeah.
And you'll just leave
You
without
didn't need the loo when the call to go to the loo was made, but it took everyone so long to go
Yeah.
to the loo that now you need to go.
them. And then you leave without them and you never talk to them again.
That happened to my parents.
That's what? No, that's tragic.
It's also a lie, but yeah. It was just funny to say.
Allegedly.
I mean, I live with my parents, so that seems unlikely.
Allegedly.
I mean, I could call them if you want.
I don't know. I don't think. No.
Pass.
Yeah, hard pass.
Just gonna eat this deliciously crunchy chocolate biscuit.
Terrible. What is the name of some of these things? See if I can pick it.
Hang on, I need to read these rules so that I can beat Will.
You can what well?
Beat Will.
Well,
Beat
in
well.
the 8 seconds that I spent reading the rulebook,
We want to use.
it strikes me that we just want to use retreat because I don't think
No.
the animals have bows.
We're trying to close on Tane
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
because
Oh, we're trying to catch up to him.
Yeah. Also, we want to use something. Basically, we want to be either use. Does anyone have tactics?
Well, funny you asked.
How many dice in tactics do you have?
D4.
Cool.
And I have
I am
skirmish. I have
So three
skirmish
what?
tactics as well.
Will, can you just script
Oh,
so that we can get chatting?
sorry, I forgot to do that.
Nice.
I knew
No.
there was something I'd forgotten
It's fine. Don't
before
worry.
I went on break.
Or you could just like mute all of us. So
I'll mute myself and
take your headphones off. For
I'll
a
take
minute
my headphones off, yeah,
until you
and then
finish
I'll hide my screen.
Yeah, cool.
So Will's a massive penis.
So like, Will has a massive penis, but
That is
he
also
doesn't
true.
know what to do with it.
I've seen it. It hangs
You
out
know,
the bottom of his
God
left
weeps.
trouser leg.
God weeps some more you say these things.
Yep.
How about we just script instead of talking about Will's massive dick?
And now that you mention it,
So you have a call on for speed, right?
Yes, I have a column for speed related
So
tests.
close is speed.
Yeah, we can just close.
Close. I think we close once to use the call on, and then we want to use whatever gives us the most advantage, because using a skill versus a stat gives us a huge advantage. So we want to be using one speed test and then just going like tactics or stealthy like mad. Which means
So yeah, let's put down close as our first.
close.
Already put it down. And then what do we want? Like hold? No, not hold. I don't really know. Like just maintain, I guess.
No, we want to keep closing on Tane, right?
So like, do we just want to script 2 closes and then a maintain?
I feel like we want to. So, close, advance 1 range category. Flank is tactics plus forks. If successful, advance 1 range category. Charge.
Yeah, but we don't want to outmaneuver them. We want to like keep behind them.
The narrative of it is like we could also sneak in, right? Which would be representing us like we're getting through the forest. The animals can't see where we are, and neither can Tane, and we're keeping like he thinks he's lost us for a moment. Like that's also a valid.
I mean, we can do that as our last maneuver. Like if we close, maintain, then sneak in.
I don't think there's any point doing maintain because we don't want to like maintain. Is a thing you want to do a lot if you want to actually shoot people with bow. And we don't want to do that. We want to get the animals away from us.
Right, so we want close, sneak in.
Close, sneak in, maybe charge.
I don't think we want to charge them. Like our intent is to like escape the animals and catch up to Tane.
Okay.
So unless we can do anything to like keep the animals back, I think we should just keep closing in.
Yeah. So close, sneak in. Are we better on stealthy or are we better on tactics? I think we have more forks on stealthy.
I think well we can get more forks on stealthy, but
we have
more slowest and loudest rule.
Right. Yes.
So I think it's best if we just tactics it then.
Okay, yeah.
So it's close.
Slowest and loudest. Can we still have someone lead the test who's not the slowest and loudest?
No.
Okay, so I'd have to lead the test.
Yeah, you would have to lead the stealth test.
what's your stealthy like?
My stealthy is 2, so I have it, but like, man.
Well, I have a 5 in stealthy, which would be a +2 dice to you, and then Eel has a 3, which would be another, which would be a +1 dice to you. So that'd be a 5 dice.
Yeah, I feel like that would be okay, but like it's a pain we wouldn't get to use Eel's call, like put Eel first and use the call on because we have a bunch of dice there.
I think it's best if we don't do it.
We'll see. Maybe Maybe we'll forget the slowest alarm.
Right, so yeah,
and
sneak
let he'll
in.
be in charge.
So we'll do close, sneak in,
Yeah, and flank.
and then what?
Maybe flank second, sneak in third.
Maybe? Yeah, let's try that. Because my other idea would be close, sneak in, then close again, just in case we failed to sneak in.
Mm.
So that means we're not like.
All
I mean,
three
it's the
of
same
these.
either way, but
Yeah, we're scripting three. We're scripting three closing maneuvers.
yeah.
Right? We're not
So
scripting.
it's fine either way.
Okay, I think we're done.
Yep. Don't tell well. Let's just sit here for a
Okay,
little bit.
I'm done.
Damn it.
Welcome.
Okay.
Oh fuck, we forgot. Okay, we probably want to swap some stuff to not to. I forgot
Just
to
say what
read
number.
that stuff down the bottom, right?
Just say what
Plus-
number.
+3 ob to closing maneuvers except sneak. So maybe we'll want to swap the. Maybe we want to swap the flank for another sneak. Maybe we want to swap both of them for another sneak. to be
Should we
honest.
just like change all three?
I don't know. Change
Well,
one maybe.
Make a decision.
Let's change the flank.
Right, let me just delete them all and then re-put them down. Because, Mister, I can't make a decision.
Okay.
It's yeah, that's fair because I didn't even realize there was text at the bottom until I scrolled the screen.
Right,
Oh,
so now it's so now we have an idea of what we're doing.
Okay.
That's a +5 ob to shooting. Jeez.
Yeah, shooting in a forest at nighttime is basically impossible.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I wasn't really planning on shooting.
Well, I was gonna
I
open.
mean, you can do it just to mark a challenging test, I guess.
Yeah, I was just going to open, like, bow and shoot.
Can I attempt to? No, I can't because I don't have anything that lets me do this.
What were you
Moving
going to
on.
say?
Moving on, I was going to say I was going to try to do something with magic, but I basically don't have any grounding to do it. So
I think if
on.
you'd had an instinct or said you were doing something whilst everyone else was talking, then maybe.
Mm.
But yeah.
But I don't have any spheres that are relevant really either. So
Yeah. Fair. Okay. So let's kind of lay the scene out. So Tane starts running, and you all run after him, and the animals sort of close in behind you. Tane is running initially down the hill and into the burial mounds, the kind of trenches that we described before.
Yeah.
Yeah, his initial like direction of movement is like straight across from the mound with the trees on towards the shrine entrance, but cutting through the trenches that he came through before. And you guys, chase after. So the dense cover or the forest initially is not too bad, like around this shrine, but because he's heading into the into those trenches, that's why it counts as dense cover still, or like it would be like narrow streets effectively. And it's nighttime, so good luck shooting anything anyway. All right, let's do our first maneuver. So we all started optimal range, by the way, if you didn't see that on the side.
It's fine.
All right. And flip. All right. So, what is everyone's stride?
7.
7.
7. Okay. I think the animals probably have the highest stride then.
It's because I've got too many feet.
Let's see. Does charge give a stride advantage? I think
Nope.
it does. Doesn't it?
Don't think so. It lets you take advantage from stride, right? It doesn't give you a
Right.
right.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, if you have an advantage from stride, you get to it's a bonus dice. Right?
Right. Yeah. So I will say that they are. Oh, where's the farm yard in the codex? Pete's farm. There it is. I will put them on equivalent as bears, I guess.
Okay.
So that makes them, or oh no, there's cougars and mountain lions. That's probably better. Okay, so they have a stride of 12 or 11 or something. Okay, so they have the highest.
Horses are like 12.
Yeah.
So.
Wolves are 11, I think. So we'll go with something like that. So they get +1 for the highest stride. Now, it does actually matter because you guys are at 7, right?
Yeah.
We're at 7, yes.
Yeah. So we'll use wolves actually. So wolves have a stride of 11, so that's 4 more than 7. So they get +2 dice, and then Tane has the next highest stride. His stride is 8.
Fuck. Tane.
Highest stride than us, though.
Solar!
No, it's not necessarily right.
Big feet.
It definitely the case is he's some sort of mystical being.
Yeah.
You know what they say about men with big feet?
Big dicks.
Definitely solars.
Maybe that's a way of finding out. Their feet very big.
Kill all big-footed men.
You might have a solar on your hands.
Okay. So I'll do the animals charge first, because that kind of sets the standard for everyone else. Because that's the tidal wave that you all have to outrun. So
Have fun storming the castle.
so they're testing steel, which I'll say is a B6, and then +2 from stride, and then I'll round up to 3 helping dice, so 11.
Oh God.
Wow.
3 successes
Wow.
and 11 dice.
Okay.
Good thing they don't get call-ons.
We done it, guys.
We done it with one.
Tane is withdrawing.
Is Tane wearing?
Oh, that's a
Tane's
closing maneuver as well. So they got 0 successes.
Question.
Yeah.
Is Tane wearing any kind of armor?
None that would reduce his speed.
Good. Okay.
Which I think is like heavy mail and above.
Light mail and above.
Okay. Yeah, he's not wearing mail. He's wearing leather, if anything.
Right.
Yeah, so +2 dice. From withdraw, +1 for stride. And he has a bow. So that gives him another bonus somewhere. He's a hunting bow and he's at optimal range, so that gives him another +1. Oh no, +2. Wow. Okay. Fuck. Okay, he's rolling a lot of dice. He is also rolling. Wait, what did I say? +1 and then +2 and +2. So 5 modifiers. Jesus. Wow. Okay.
What the fuck? No, Will, what is that? No.
This is an NPC he wants to keep alive.
Well, we're gonna have to kill him, so we'll.
I mean,
No,
this
we
one.
can't
Can you
kill
blame
him.
him after I stabbed
None
the
of-
last one?
None of us have beliefs about killing him.
Yeah, none of
Mold
you.
breaker.
Like,
that doesn't
we can-
count.
We can mold break it. Like him running really quickly. We know what that means, but like he's gonna have to actually do some really nefarious stuff for
Oh,
us to have
no,
any
Viper.
justification.
Viper
Um,
trips on a rock and her sword goes flying and. Oh,
Okay,
It's
so
mean.
what's your roll, guys?
So we've got clothes, which is speed, which I think we want to put this on Viper.
I
Yeah,
believe so,
I've got
yes.
speed 4 and a call on.
Yeah, I've got a speed 5, so I can give 2 dice of help.
Oh, lovely. In
Uh,
Eel, I
I-
assume you're helping me?
I am helping, yeah, but I don't have that great speed, so it's only 1 dice.
So, plus 3 helping doesn't total, which helps kind of offset the plus 3 ob. Do I have any Artha? That's a good question. I don't want to spend it, but I'm checking. So,
What weapon do you have out as well?
my swords.
Okay, so you get no. You're leading the roll, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you get no bonus from your weapons.
Yeah.
I feel like the bonus from weapons may not apply if we're not actually shooting arrows at each other.
Yeah, because
maybe not actually.
I feel like-
this is actually more of a chase than
Yeah.
which
Yeah, I
uses
feel
the
like
same rules but without shooting stuff.
yeah, I feel like if he's shooting arrows at the animals, like I don't know.
I'll remove his last 2 dice then, but that still puts him at 6 successes.
Okay,
Fuck.
cool.
So there's no ob, but it removes the plus the ob removes the successes instead of.
Pardon?
I'm like, what's my ob for this? What's my base ob?
It's who gets the most, right? This is to
Right. Okay.
decide who wins the maneuver.
Right. Okay. So there's no base ob, but the
I think-
plus 3 ob from closing maneuvers removes the success amount. Right.
I'd put
mean,
the
it's an
base
obstacle,
op, put the
right.
obstacle as 9 because that's what the effective to win is.
Okay.
Well, your obstacle is 3 in terms of determining test difficulty.
Right.
Because we only need to beat one person, right?
Okay. So
Yeah,
I'm,
because
so I'm
there's
not
two-
rolling base ob
There's
nothing.
2 factors here
Base
as well.
up, base
right?
up 3. Base up 3.
Yeah.
Base ob 3. Okay. Thank you.
Because it's the animals can close in on you
Yeah.
still.
I'm gonna open those 2 sixes. Should I, guys? Should I open those 2 sixes?
Yeah, call on and then open the 6s.
That's
right.
see. Look at that.
Do you want to
No,
call on first?
open the
or
6s and then call on.
How much
mean-
fate do you have?
The order
I have
does the
4.
order matter?
The order doesn't matter, but
No.
it matters in terms of how much fate you have.
Okay.
I have 4 fate. So
Use the call on.
So
Yeah.
that
you know-
thing you said the other day, Will, about when you open end stuff and then use stunts and call ons, it
that's
doesn't.
for stunts. If it comes to that, if a thing is already open ended and you spend fate to reroll traitors, those traitors that you're rerolling are not open ended.
yeah, I'm not opening the
But
traitors.
that's a different thing.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm opening the 2 sixes I have. So that's spending a point of fate, and then that 1 fate point goes into my speed. So I'm rolling. For successes, so I'm gonna use my colon.
Okay.
Way. I'm a nimble little rat.
I believe no matter what happens, we all mark a challenging speed test.
So
we
this
can
is-
we can check that afterwards.
yeah, dexterity of a cat calling for climbing or speed related tests, and this is speed related. So I'm re-rolling.
So too bad I
Um,
don't need a challenging speed test.
3 dice?
You're rerolling 3 dice,
Where's my
and
thing?
they will be open ended because you've already.
I put the exclamation mark at the end of the 6, right, for that.
Yeah.
That's 1 extra success.
Wait,
Okay.
why did you roll 4?
3d6. There's 3d6. I don't know why there's a
Oh,
additional
because
one there.
you put it. Yeah, I don't know.
Once- Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
don't know what happened
that's
there.
that's one success.
Yeah, one extra success. So that's a failure.
Um,
But that's a difficult speed test or challenging.
but we'll come back to that later. We
Okay.
can check that after. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we'll say it's a chase, and then just ignore weapon modifiers.
Yeah.
All right. So Tane wins the maneuver, which means he pulls ahead by one range bracket. So he's now at stream range relative to you guys. And you beat the animals, so you pull ahead of them, which puts them at extreme range relative to you.
Okay. And then
So if we win one more test versus the animals, or if we lose one more test versus Tane, then either one of them drop out the conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Tane makes it to out of range, then he vanishes.
yeah. It's a really annoying thing. Slowest and loudest rules still apply here. Because I had a really cool thing I could have done, but y'all fuckers are here.
How many? Oh man. Yeah. So slowest and loudest. Does that mean that? I think you have to declare it in advance, don't you?
What's your question?
I was thinking, could we split in half and have create two groups, one with the two quick people, and one with Arcan, to get left behind and eaten by animals.
Yeah, joking, of course.
Next, at the beginning of next exchange, I think you can, but not in the middle of a volley.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we flip our next volley then.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
This boy just withdrawing all the time.
Okay. Yeah. So he, we've now weaved through some of these trenches, and he's run up the steps, and is just there's a small clearing in the shrine. He's not gone straight for the entrance now. He's turned off to the right maybe, and then there's a section of the wall where it kind of bends around a bit, and then there's an opening. So he makes a beeline for that. And the animals are just leaping over these trenches. Some of them are running between the trenches, but there's gorillas leaping across these gaps. There's tigers running, and they're all roaring at you and crying out, and you guys are initially close in or try to close in onto him, and you begin to maintain, or sorry, you manage to pull away from the animals, but you see that Tane is beginning to get away from you.
The animals do nothing this round. They hesitate.
Pardon?
They hesitate. They fail the charge.
Oh, thank you.
They are ambush predators.
Yeah.
And they have failed.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So I guess they all they get to the trenches, they roar at you as they're kind of thinking, we've chased them off. Good. The end.
You just kind of turn around and is that's at home for tea.
So we need I guess we need 3 successes still, and then we just win because they can't get any. We beat them.
Well, so they're just not participating in this volley, so it's really just between you and Tane.
So if we get 3 successes,
you're both doing withdrawal maneuvers, and they're hesitating, so they automatically move out of range.
I think we still need to have 1 success, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I think if they're hesitating during this volley, and if we'd already beat them, they would have been knocked out anyway. I think they should have been knocked out flat.
We'll see. Yeah.
Probably won't make one.
It's mostly between you and Tane now, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Masato is well. We'll see. He's maybe satisfied that he's scared you off.
So it's coming out of his tree.
All right, so Tane will be once again rolling.
12
Yeah,
die.
okay, so not quite
No.
12 dice, 10 dice.
Oh well, you know what? That's better. I'm happy with it. 10 dice. Fucking 10 dice.
That's okay. We just need a way to get 10 dice.
So
Oh.
See, this is why we should have brought the Shikari with us.
He only
Alright.
got 4 successes.
He has 2 6s, but I'll let
We'll
you
wait
guys
to
roll.
see.
I don't think he has fate. He doesn't seem like the fate kind.
Shut the fuck up, Scott.
Look, I want to catch this guy.
he has a really deep, long backstory where he like saved the princess, and Will's put a lot of thought into this character, and like he deserves the deeds point that he has.
You know, I think considering like he seems to be around for like a long time, I think he's got at least 2 deep points.
He's a really important character, guys.
I think he's got 2 deep
You're
points.
not allowed to kill him. If you try, then he'll turn into a bird, and an invincible bird, and fly away.
I'm
Sorry,
not gonna lie, that is
Medivh.
literally what happened when we fought a fucking lunar. He just turned into a fucking bird and flew away from us.
I believe from that story, he wasn't actually invincible. So wasn't an example.
He
of
was vaguely
No.
Will
invincible.
being a bad GM. Just
No, he was supposed to kill us, so he was decidedly vincible because we actually almost killed him.
Yeah.
Sure. So, yes. So, can we have anyone except Arkan lead this role?
You're sneaking, right?
Yes.
I'd say if Arkan sees the animals hesitating and wants to drop behind, knowing that the other two will have a better chance of catching up to Tane, which I think is a reasonable thing that Arkan might know or realize,
Yeah.
then I'd say you can, but then you'll stay at extreme range relative to the animals.
Yeah, and it will become more complicated. Yeah. I guess the only sensible thing to do is to do that because, like,
I mean, it might not matter, but yeah.
no.
So what's happening?
Arkan is dropping out of the conflict to the same extent that the others are, and the next slowest and loudest, which is Eel, goes right. Because Eel has a 3 in stealthy.
Therefore, the slowest and the loudest.
The slowest and the loudest.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess this is Eel. What forks are you using, if any?
Oh, so there's no test for you to drop out. It's just a thing that happens.
Yeah, he's just saying this, right?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like Arkan is volunteering to slow down a bit so that you guys carry on ahead and that he doesn't slow you down. He's like explicitly pulling back, I guess.
Okay. Well then, I guess I'm just rolling stealthy, aren't I?
And I'm helping you out. Gives you 2 dice.
Aren't you wounded?
Does that?
Yeah,
That
means
will affect
that
health,
means
you
your
know.
stealthy is a 4, not a 5.
Ah, well, you get 1 dice.
Yeah.
Shite. Wait, could I grit my teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yes.
So that's a persona.
Yeah, if you spend a persona, you do that instantly.
Yeah, I'm gonna grit my teeth.
could. Okay.
Grit my teeth. And that fades away. There goes my 1 fucking persona to live.
Someone else can spend it for you.
No, they can't.
Can I theoretically fork my orienteering to not get lost in this forest?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
It's a good one.
So that'll be a +3 to this dice pool. I'm not going to spend Arthurite. And my ob is 4. Okay, I'm going to use my call on.
Well, your orb is 3 technically, but yeah.
Oh, it's ob 3, okay. So I need one more, and that's reroll 1, 2, 3, 4 dice. Oops. Not 45 dice. I'm not Tane. Boosh.
Bing bada boom.
Tying for
Disappearing.
maneuver. If the closing maneuver ties with a withdrawing maneuver, there is no change of position.
It doesn't tie though.
It doesn't tie because it's
Doesn't tie?
technically ob 3.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so he's sitting on 2 6s. So I will spend a fate.
Wow, and I didn't get a single 6. God damn it.
Cool.
God.
Okay.
So we tie then,
That's
So we tie.
and there's no
Stay
change
at-
of position.
You stay at extreme.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had mutants with us.
Do I?
Such a mean way to refer to Arcan.
Wow.
What do I do about this? Because I've become a separate group. Have I? Or I don't know what's going on here.
We'll say that you basically maintained.
Well, because the animals, like, this is now 2 separate ranging covers, right?
Yeah,
Because the
almost.
animals are now, like, I'm at extreme range with them, and they're
Yeah, because there's no way the animals can catch up to us now.
We can probably do that ranging cover after we do this one.
maybe we just have it as like fictional positioning, like Arcan is still in scene with the animals. If you lose Tane and come back, animals are like hanging around.
Yeah.
Like they're I don't know.
I'll say the animals are
Let's
Yeah.
leave it and not decide
Yeah.
and not actually make any rolls for that second
Yeah.
ranging cover because I don't
it
know.
might not matter. Yeah.
We can just decide how it works in the
Yeah.
end.
Okay.
As we flip the next one.
Hang on. Wait.
So
Oh yeah. So you're sneaking. Yeah. So there isn't a +3 op. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. And flip. Okay.
Sneak out,
Yeah.
sneak in.
sneaking all around.
Yeah. So Tane makes it to the edge of the forest now and begins to weave between the trees and is trying to lose everyone. Okay, so he still has the high stride, so he's testing stealthy with +1. God, I keep losing his character sheet. I keep closing it by accident, which is dumb. Okay. Alrighty. Oops. Mm. 3 1s.
Oh, yes. It's a bad roll, but
All right, and then you. So now it's still just Eel and Viper now.
yeah.
Um,
No, you've only got one helping dice from me because I've.
yeah.
No. You've still no. It's 2.
No. Sorry, that lasts, doesn't it?
That's the
it
whole
lasts.
scene, right?
Oh,
So
Yeah,
that
it lasts the scene.
So
Oh, okay.
if you catch up to him and start beating him down with your fist or talking to him, it continues. It's when we next break scene and we're like, okay, where are we next?
Yeah.
that it
Okay.
ends.
All right. I was a bit lost on that.
Yeah, it's a good spend, right? It's
Yeah,
a
it's-
real value.
It's better than spending. If you're wounded, and you're like, oh, I could spend Persona to get a bonus dice. You might as well spend it to grit your teeth instead.
I
Yeah.
often intentionally get wounded at the start of the campaign so that I can have more valuable persona.
That's
Do
what
that
we're
for you
going
for
with for
free.
last campaign, is it?
Okay, so it's +2 dice for me, and then. Okay, so are you fucking orienteering again?
Yeah, I'm imagining I'm rolling the same thing again.
Yeah. You used your colon, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah, okay, so you can't use it again.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I won't need to.
Let's hope.
Based off... Is it based off 1 or based off 2?
It's 0, basically. It's just see who gets the most.
Oh, okay. Boom.
Oh, yes.
All right. Yeah, he's not going to spend a fate on 1/6. Okay. So you move into optimal range relative to him. All right. So you're both at optimal range. Oops. And let's go to next exchange.
Should we just do what we've been doing as usual?
Yeah, I don't... if we're just against Tane, there's no downside to just sneaking constantly.
Sneak in, sneak out, watch him try and stab us.
Sneaky sneak.
You're just waiting for him to give up on, like, you're just keeping him in sight and waiting for him to assume that you're no longer chasing him.
Yeah.
Look,
we're the sneaky boys. We just hide in tree.
we are the sneaky boys.
Wait, no.
That is illegal. We're waiting for that moment where he gets far enough, like he runs for long enough that he just goes, I guess it was rats, puts his weapons away and just carries on walking normally.
And then he really he just glitches out
guess
in
it
a
was
tree.
nothing.
I'm really eager for next month, like in game, because then I can replace my third instinct.
What is your third instinct? Oh,
Currently it's learn from
yes,
eel.
the learning one.
And I intend to replace it with always have my horse near me. Always.
That's a good one.
Because
That's a very good one.
like I feel like it. I've seen through this jungle episodes that like it would have been useful so many times. It would have been
To have a
incredibly.
horse.
It would have been incredibly dangerous for both me and the horse, right? If I'd failed any test, it would have been like your horse falls and breaks its neck.
Your horse is devoured by a horse with a man's face.
Yeah.
Because it'd be disgusting.
I thought you were about to say Gru.
But it's a real pain being the slowest guy.
Right, like when you get some downtime, you can do some some CrossFit, you know.
What's my plan?
All right, let's
Do some
flip.
CrossFit with your horse.
Horse fit.
Horse fit.
How's that way to make that joke?
Okay. So yeah, I think seeing that you have sort of gained some distance on him, there's a break in the trees, and he like sees the opportunity to just kind of like run in a straight line for a bit. So you guys are sneaking still. All right. Yeah, and I think it's pretty obvious, like at this point, in addition to his higher stride, he just seems to move with more grace than you guys do, but also,
I'm graceful.
yeah, just his quickness of movement seems uncanny. If it, like, in addition to the mechanics that are on display here, it is present in what you're witnessing as well. So presumably stealthy +3 again.
Yep. I'm just debating whether it's worth spending.
Oh, deeds.
I mean,
So there's two choices here. When it comes to deeds, I think you have stealthy, or you have stealth as one of your spheres of influence, right?
yes.
Yeah. So you could spend a deeds to add your essence to this roll.
Ooh,
Instead
that's better than double.
instead of doubling your base, which would you could add +5 instead of +3 if you wanted, but it's up to you.
I have a point. Like, is this? So we're at. This is optimal range.
This
so
is optimal.
so it's
if
2
you
more
if
wins
you
to go
if you
to.
successfully close in from optimal, you're too close to shoot, and then I can't quite remember if that ends it there or if there's another one. Let me double check.
Yeah, because if that does go too close to shoot, then maybe spending the deeds is a valid option. If not, then it's really not a valid option because you'd still have another test, and then it's just like you're probably going to lose eventually, and you waste the deeds on.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything because I'm saving my deeds like a madman.
You're waiting to pop it all at the same time so you can instantly negotiate something.
Okay, if you're at optimal range and you close with your opponent, you're too close to shoot. You're now in a melee.
Okay.
Range and cover is over. Same goes for your opponent. Yeah, so if you win this, you would close in on him. You would get your intent. If he wins this, he'll pull away to extreme range again.
Oh. Fuck it. We kind of want to keep up with him.
Okay.
So
what does spending a deeds look like for you?
I guess the most logical explanation for this is that like as Eel is sprinting sort of through this, or like moving carefully through this forest, like she's just it's one of those moments where like she's sort of gradually beginning to sort of lose her she's beginning to lose her breath, and it's one of those moments where it's like you just remember your training, just keep going, just breathe, and she's like remembering all of this shit that she's been through. And it gets to the point where she's just sort of like the moving swiftly and quietly just becomes second nature. And in her head, she's just running through everything, and she's just remembering why all of this is so important. And it's just, it's almost like a Sherlock Mind Palace moment where she's just running, and she's drawing beads about like Tane said this, and this lines up with what we experienced with Masata in the first place, and Masata's acting this way because of that, and this might, and yeah, and she's piecing things together in her head, and it's keeping her like rhythmic, it's keeping her like sprinting rhythm going, and she's doing the breathing, and she's not worrying about the fact that like her legs are on fire, and it's the middle of the night, and fuck even knows what is going on right now.
See, yeah.
Yeah. It's just
right.
everything is zoned because she is so focused.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
So that's plus
add 5 Arta dice.
5. Okay. And my orb is 6.
Oh.
Are
there any 6s?
There
sixes. Are plenty of 6s.
Open them 6s.
I can't remember. Does marginal success do anything?
Well, it's whoever wins the maneuver.
Oh yeah, no.
So you're drawing
Yeah,
right
absolutely.
now, so you'd maintain.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna
He's,
spend a fate
he's got
to
1
reroll
6, so
those.
he's gonna spend that.
The difficult stealthy at the very least.
So he's got 1 more
Um,
success now.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend the 1 fate and reroll my 3
successes.
dice. Boosh.
Nice.
And there's another 6 in
And there is another again. Boosh.
Nice.
So you have marginal successes. Well, we weren't adding weapon dice, so I guess you don't have your weapons out necessarily.
I also have no intention of hurting him.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll just say then that. Yeah, I guess marginal success probably won't do anything here. But you win. You get your intent. You catch up with him. Funnily enough, that leaves Arkin out on his own again.
So, yeah, we're back at square one.
So, can I ask when I get to come back in scene? Because I want to establish that right now.
Yeah.
And on what terms?
So we sort of said that you pulled back.
Yeah.
Are you?
I am absolutely trying to keep Eel and Viper in sight.
Keeping pace, but you're trying to keep pace, but you're intentionally going a bit slower to not slow them down.
Yeah, I was letting them move ahead at their own pace. I'm trying to keep them in sight, but like I don't know if it's possible for me. I feel like that's what's going on. That like I'm not able to move in the same way as they are.
Yeah. Rob, you're not expecting this to go to a fight, are you?
No.
Are you, Viper?
No.
Okay. In that case, then I'd say, Ollie, if you just want to like appear within the next conversation,
Yeah.
or within the next scene, like whenever seems dramatically appropriate, let's say.
Cool.
If the situation changes such that you like need to make a stealth test or something, then we'll get to that when we get to it. But
Okay.
I think it's fine. The animals, like you watch them as you're like backing away, or trying to keep pace. You're like turning back occasionally to see what's up with them. I think having chased you out of the sanctuary proper, they've stopped at the borders.
Because I sort of imagine how our success ends up is that like Tane thinks he's escaped, so he stops for a breather to catch his breath. At which point we walk out in front of him, like we've overtaken him, and it's just sort of like there's that moment where he's about to flee again, and then he's just like, actually, my lungs are burning. I can't.
Yeah, he's like, there's a look of shock on his face.
Yeah,
and then he just sighs and says, "The blood of the dragons really does run through you."
You made such an effort to run. I thought we were finally starting to get on good terms.
I felt compromised. On multiple levels.
Still, there is little point dwelling on that. You and I came to the same realization back there.
Actually, I'll say for interest, he's talking in High Realm.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know you could speak High Realm. Another one of your many secrets.
He just shrugs at you.
So, how about we start a very open and honest discussion about who you are, what you're doing here, such
I
and
think
such.
Neil asked a question, didn't you?
Yeah, it was sort of the. Well, yeah. If
We came to the same realization.
yeah, we came to the same realization back there.
Right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that wasn't a question then. Okay, carry on, Viper.
But pretty much, like, I think we should start an open and honest discussion about who you are, what your intent was here, and how you intended to treat the god and what you know. The basics.
I do not even think perhaps all of that is necessary. I think merely all we need to know is honestly what you think is happened here and how we can solve it. I think we may have different ideas, but I think we have the same goal.
And what is your goal?
To bring balance back to this place.
There's something wrong with that god.
I will not dispute that. For context, Viper, you're familiar with the Old Realm, yes?
Yes, I know of the language.
There was a time when all the creatures of the realm, all the creatures of the land spoke it. From Dragonblood to Peasant to even the Anathema. For a god to not speak it is unheard of. Even this far out.
Well, doesn't that hint at something else going on then? If,
It does more
God.
than hint.
Well then, what's the plan now?
I think once we have caught our breath and regrouped, we need to discover the true nature of whatever it is that Masata is. Whether it is something manifesting, masquerading as a god, or whether Misata has been truly changed by something.
Well, it seems that our friend here seems to know a little bit more of... Well, a little bit more.
Yeah, you spoke of healing. Is that based on a deduction or just simply...
My methods would not agree with yours.
And what does that mean?
It means he intended to remove whatever sickness affects Masata with the axe, rather than with perhaps any other degree of care.
Is that an accurate deduction, Tane?
He shrugs.
So unhelpful.
I
So, Tane, I do have a question directly for you. Well, who are you? Really, I want to know more about the mysterious man who approached a god with an axe in an attempt to cure him. Probably the strangest doctor I've met.
And unless you are very foolhardy, no regular axe, or perhaps regular man.
The axe was in case he did not comply.
And what were you going to do if he did comply?
Take him away from here.
And how would you do that?
Well, if he complied, then he'd be coming with me.
Fair point, but
It's not unheard of for gods to leave their domain for a period.
the way Masato looks, being a face in a tree, he does not look very transportable.
Once again, you believe your eyes too much.
Well, unfortunately, I know not much of gods, nor sorcery, nor any of the likes.
Suffice it to say, I once met a god who was a river, and he was certainly capable.
Where are you?
Oh,
Curse boss bang!
Standing around talking. I've been a thing with a man's hand for an ear was chasing me, and I've only just let it. Well,
lovely, polite conversation, Arcan.
and
It is good to see you all well. You notice we are no longer running.
I notice. What have you talked about? Tell me.
We have come to the conclusion that there is something more than unusual about Masata's condition, and we were debating the best way to cure him.
Well, you saying that Masato has been lying to us? That he knows what is wrong with him, and
I'm saying that perhaps Masato is not even Masato. He did not understand Old Realm, language that all gods should know instinctively. It's possible that he's not even who he claims to be, who he was, who should be the god that watches over this place.
I've had enough of this. I have had enough of him. I've had enough of you, Tane. You will come back with us, and we will kill those creatures of Masato that he sought to set on us, and we will force him to talk. I am past the point where sitting and discussing the best method is right to me anymore. We will force him to say everything he knows. And you, Tane, we will let you kill these animals, and we will let you watch, and then you will put your weapons to the side while we speak to Masato. I don't know what you were doing with that axe, but I don't trust you for a minute around the god.
Well, if the god is non-compliant, maybe it is well.
Oh,
Yes,
certainly.
go on.
If the god is non-compliant, we will wring truth out of that creature. But this man...
Arcan, may I ask how you plan on wringing truth out of a tree?
I think at this point Eel laughs. And
Arcan is like, his hands are clenching and unclenching.
if there is one man in this world who could wring the truth from a tree, I am sure that it is Arcan.
Well, yes, by a lot, certainly.
Do not use my god's name!
Regardless, Tane, I think it is agreed that, well, as you said yourself, we need action.
I was observing this town for some time. I was here when you arrived.
Have you been watching us for long?
I didn't follow you into the woods the first time you came here, but I knew you were gone. I tell you this because I have made deductions on my own. But I think you're right, Eel. Perhaps a collaboration of known information might be useful before we confront Masato with any sort of accusations. If that is your intent.
Of course.
I would say if the god is ill and does not want to be, well, saved and he's causing too many issues, it might as well just be to cut the infection off.
I do not believe that it is such a simple treatment. It is not like a festering wound that you can amputate. It is a malady of the mind, or something else that I do not understand. The cause of this matters little to me, though. All I know is that I no longer believe that thing to be a god. I don't know what it is, but I intend to find out.
If it is no longer a god, then I see no issue to kill it.
But we must be sure of it first.
It will know. Masato knows. It almost told me before, I think. And instead it gave me instructions. A way to make it better. Well, if it's not a god, then
What did it say?
it said it would not be healed unless it got the worship they needed from the town. It set us a task to rid it of the parasites the Wyld hunt cadre now slain, and to make the people of the town worship it again.
If this thing is, well, sick in the mind, its attempts to get worship maybe for, well, something else.
It could be still a god, and I'm right, and we could all be wrong. And yet I find I still do not care. If this Masato wishes us to treat it with the respect it claims to deserve, then it should speak freely. And you, Tane,
What of me?
what promise can you give us that you will consider binding? What oath can you swear that we should listen to and believe?
What's your intent?
I literally just want him to say, like, yes, I actually have some sort of higher thing that I value highly, so that we can then demand that. Like, because at this point, I don't trust anything he says, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So I want him to I want him to say, like, yes, I have values that I'm not going to go past, and if I make a promise to you on this basis, then you can believe it.
Okay, yeah. So,
So that if we then want to decide what to do with him, we can ask him to make a promise on that basis. Like, I'm saying, like, can you make a promise that we can listen to? Right?
yeah. Is
Yeah.
is there a
What
there an
authority do you
ideology
have
that
that
you-
you're not going to run off into the forest?
Is there some god you can swear by? Is there some principle
Yeah.
or like or something that you can like take like and then like I'm not even demanding anything of him on this one. Like
yeah.
the next thing is turn to my companions and say, like, how long do we want to sit here and ask for his help, right? And when do we want to kick him out and send him off into the wilderness to never come back here?
Um hmm. Tane says says I value the word and honor of my ancestors and of those who raised me.
Well then, Eel, Viper, we will never get this man to tell us everything he knows. I doubt we'd even get him to tell us whatever his real name is. You told us to call you Tane, I think.
Yeah, he did.
The question is, do we even let him help us resolve Masata's issues? How far should we agree to trust each other? And when should we agree that this man should go back to his wanderings?
He says, I am happy to leave your presence as soon as some answer is revealed to me as to Masata's true nature. I was in the mind to ascertain that information myself, and my conversations with you earlier led me to believe that your minds could not be changed on this matter.
I think up until the moment that I realized the truth, that Masata could not understand what it was that I was saying, you could not have swayed me.
Eel has told me that Masata was lying. I don't like Learning that I've been used.
I think, were it not for the fact that we are facing trouble in 3 parts already, an individual such as Tane would be of interest to the hunt. But I think if we pool our resources to solve this problem, we can obtain Tane's answers and never see each other again, if that suits.
I will not swear oaths to your inquisition, but I will help you.
I was not inviting you to join the Inquisition. I was suggesting the Inquisition may have an interest in pursuing you. But I accept that. In case I'm not being clear, I'm implying
Yes.
that we would hunt him, not
Yes.
he be part of hunt.
He smirks and says, well, you've already demonstrated your ability to catch me.
Let's hope that's not necessary again.
I have one last question before we do this. In that temple the other day, before we first met, you were dumbstruck for a short while.
I look at him quizzically.
He, tilts his head and says, like I said, I've been observing this town, for a while.
And somehow we haven't noticed you.
The man is good at his job. Continue.
Why were you dumbstruck? It was the first time I had seen you, before or since, with any kind of expression of fear on your face.
Does he look like this is sincere, genuine curiosity?
Yeah.
Is it bargaining time?
Could be.
Is it? Is it bargaining time?
It could be. It could be.
Well, that depends what you want to bargain, because out of character, I'm not really sure what you're wanting to get out.
Ooh, I think we could get anything we like out of him at this point. Like that, this is a thing he literally wants. We can like right here, like we can actually push for a roll and maybe get something good. Like if we want something specific.
Well, I'm asking, what do we want?
Yeah. Maybe. We never really got more information about like it's clear he did know stuff about the plague to the north, right?
Ah, yeah, okay.
And
Yeah,
and like
that's
that's the
definitely
thing-
in my interest to discover. As
yeah,
well.
like
Okay.
Yeah, because you had a gambling test before where
Yeah.
he was like, I'll tell you some information if you win, and you lost. So
Yeah.
he never told you that information.
Okay. So I'm gonna look at him and I will say,
yeah, we like trading.
Yeah. a truth for a truth. Then I will tell you the answer to your question if you will tell us what it is that you know about the plague.
And we do not have enough time to gamble on it. So you will have to simply agree or never know the answer.
Okay, I think this is likely to be. What do we think? What kind of test do we think this is?
This sounds like a persuasion test.
I was thinking, yeah. But then what would. Like, because success is like he tells you and agrees and you both exchange information.
Yeah.
Failure?
I think failure is he doesn't tell us everything.
Um,
I guess failure can just be that he.
Because he's
Well,
not going to say no because he wants to know this, but the question is, do we persuade him that this information is worth
That
what
it's
his...
worth the same.
there's maybe this is throwing a ball off the wall. Maybe failure is he just feels like annoyed and angry and insulted and hangs around and like jumps in at some point to throw a wrench into whatever we're doing and then run like just to take petty revenge on us briefly.
Mm,
I know. I don't.
I
I
don't think
don't
that's
feel
quite
like
his
it's that
style.
kind of a dick move. I think
Yeah.
he's because he's invested in this outcome the same way that we are.
Mm.
Because
For different
this is superfluous.
Mm.
This is just this is just
satisfying
us shooting the shit
curiosity
in
and-
between.
Yeah.
Because we've already told him like once we part ways, he can just fuck off and do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
This is an alliance of convenience.
Hmm.
Because I have said we're not going to chase him, but I can't guarantee that I'm not going to write a report about this mysterious man who went around calling himself Tane, who was definitely sus and yeah. Just because I'm not going to chase him now doesn't mean I'm not going to report it.
Yeah, you're not going to chase him. Somebody else might.
Yes.
Wonder who that'd be.
Because yeah.
I feel sorry for Wild Hunt Cleanup Squad number 2. Like whoever they are, whoever it is following us around cleaning up the stuff that we leave behind, because we're going to be leaving some. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, so there's a town that we may have killed its stand-in god, and also there's potentially another anathema we're looking around, and also somebody really needs to dispose of this solar corpse.
And the Wild Hunt who was here previously have gone north, where there's like a horrendous magical plague and really interesting stuff going on, but you're not allowed to go there and help them. You have to go here instead.
Either that or there's just no cleanup crew, and the Wild Hunt just
Leave it, yeah.
Yeah, that's more likely. That's more likely.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
I think given that this is just Tane like trying to satisfy his curiosity, failure to persuade him would just, I think, mean that he doesn't see it as an equivalent exchange of information. So he's like, nah, that's not worth it. Because if you recall, the sort of his attitude when you first met him was like, information is a commodity as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
And he knows that that since this was something you gambled on before as well, he knows that you value this information quite highly.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so persuasion test. Your ob is 4.
Okay.
I'm giving a helping dice from Ugly Truth.
Sure.
Okay.
He will help with rhetoric.
What are you going to say?
You haven't said anything yet. Yeah.
No, but I'm going to say something now. Jeez. Let me just pull out the book so I remember what rhetoric. Look, sometimes I need to double check because I'll get chewed out otherwise.
Any other forks, Rob, whilst Scott thinks?
I can't because it's being learned.
Oh, right.
Ooh. We chose the wrong time to push for information here. You should have lied to him.
Yeah, you should have just lied to him and
Like-
said, yes, we actually know everything.
Why?
You know nothing.
Why aren't you lying more?
Because I don't know how to lie about it.
This is great. Eel is a fantastic liar, but Eel's player doesn't know how to lie.
No, I know how to lie. It's just that in this situation,
Yeah,
lying
yeah.
doesn't work. I mean, you wait till next session. I'm gonna lie my ass off next session because I'm gonna be like, "Oh, hey, you know this guy Panther? Yeah, he's tell me about him."
Okay.
I totally am not gonna piss him off and make him use his solar powers in front of everybody, which is potentially really dangerous.
I guess the best I can come up with for Viper saying is it is a you're hardly in the position really to not agree to such a exchange given that the scenario you find yourself in and it's also fair. It's also a fair deal. Information for information. It's the best as I can come up with for the time being.
If I might, a
Yes.
better way to phrase what you just said would be to go something along the lines of, that sounds like a reasonable exchange of information. You want to know stuff about us, we want to know stuff that you know. And then sort of point it at the angle of, this is a way, consider this an establishment of trust.
Yeah.
Because that
Okay.
would be more rhetoric. Because what you just said was more...
So more intimidate.
Ugly truth, right? It's like it's pretty much
Yeah.
the same line of logic I was using, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the rhetoric would be,
I mean,
it's an exchange.
No, I feel like it was.
it's a-
I feel like it was good enough, right?
Yeah,
Like, there's-
yeah, and I think given your
Yeah.
the thing that the addendum that you made, I think
Yes.
that's satisfactory
Yeah.
if you're happy with that, Scott.
Yep. Yep.
Cool. Okay, what's your rhetoric at, Scott?
5. So that's
Alright.
-1 because
yeah,
unless we've
so
changed
I'm only,
scenes.
I'm only getting
so.
2.
The pace has definitely changed. Do we feel like
I
this
feel
is
like
a
it's
good
more
thing?
scene. I feel
Pardon?
like it's slowed down. The adrenaline is maybe off,
Yes. Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, so just the one moving die.
I am going to spend a persona on this, because this is a big deal to me. And my ob was what, sorry?
4, which is his will.
Additional complications, none. Ouch.
Oh, ow! Why didn't one of us lead it?
Because you can't.
Yeah.
We didn't have the option really.
Can I stunt? That's the question.
You have
Is
a lot
it-
of fate.
Really worse. Stunting,
It's-
there's only one
strictly
fair.
speaking, right now you don't actually have enough dice to meet that obstacle.
You can, yeah. If you open the 6 and get another 6,
So yeah,
then you can stunt and keep going. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay, so I'll spend a fate to
You
open to start.
Yeah.
Let's do 13. Where do I put fate that I'm spending on skills being learned?
Into the rooted skills. So
Oh,
will-
okay.
The stat.
Sorry, yeah, rooted stat.
So
That's how you grace it.
boosh.
That is
Okay, so that's 2. Now I'm going to stunt. So I can
Okay.
roll
Yes, you're at 6 successes now.
3 more dice.
You can roll up to 3 more dice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
that
spend
won't
3
be
fate to do that.
open-ended. They won't be open-ended. Before you roll, what do you say? He's so far unconvinced.
I think I look at him, and then in Old Realm I say, hang on, I need to do maths in my head. Okay. I say, what I'm about to tell you is known only by 3 other people in the world, or what
In
I'm
creation.
what I'm about to tell you is the private knowledge of only 3 other people in the realm.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I'm trying to up the value of it.
Yeah, you're like,
Okay.
hey, this is actually more valuable than
Yes.
maybe you thought it was.
And especially the fact that I'm saying it in Old Realm is kind of like, I'm not including the others in this conversation.
Yes, yeah.
Come on, baby, hold together. Yes!
Oh, very nice.
Oh, that is
Tunted!
So that was a obstacle 8
I'm
on 7 dice.
Yep.
Very nicely done. Still only a routine test.
Yeah. So you mark the.
But I need it, actually.
persuasion.
What is that for the
If
rest
it
of
was-
us?
If it had been
Obstacle
difficult,
4. So I take a difficult. I guess you take a difficult 2.
yeah, it would have been ob 4.
I don't need difficult. I need challenging, and then my rare goes up to 6.
You need to get more badly injured and then have
Yeah.
an
I
Have a
can't.
conversation.
I can't
Oh
stab
no!
me.
Wait, hang on. Your rhetoric is
5.
5.
Oh, no,
but
it's
you're
4,
wounded,
it's 4.
so it's 4. So
That's
ob
still
4, but that's still difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. Or can stab me real quick.
I mean, I could just have an argument with you. Like, I kind of wanted to have an
You
argument
can't-
with you about being
you
nicer
can't
to
pass
Panther,
them.
but like, we could do that later.
Yeah.
I'll do that before the session ends.
Anyway.
All right. Yeah. So who goes first?
Well, how does he respond to this is the information, this information is only held by 3 people in the realm?
Okay. Yeah. I suppose in that case, then he goes first because he'll be like, okay. Yeah. So he says. He says. There is a city that, until very recently, was under realm jurisdiction.
Leans in, eyebrow raised.
He says, Thorns. A few months ago, actually, wait, would it be a few months ago? Yeah, it would have to be for you guys to not have known about it yet. So he says, a few months ago, the city of Thorns was annexed by a dark shadow. In 5 swift days,
Confused.
the city was completely overrun.
By whom?
Or by what?
They call him the Mask of Winters. There were no survivors.
Who is this Mask of Winters?
Nobody knows. But that gloom spread outwards, and with it, on those dark winds were carried a plague.
Some fell sorcerer, no doubt.
You said there were known survivors. How do you know?
Hearsay. Rumors. I haven't been there myself. He's lying. But you know how word spreads.
Like a gloom, apparently.
It's troubling news. It serves only to cement what I'd already suspected.
Well, then I believe it is imperative that once this whole business with this panther is over, we may head north and deal
One
with.
man alone to take a city?
He had an army.
Well,
And what kind of army?
I know not. But they say that it is a city of ghosts now.
Sorcerer's power, that does not surprise me. But it is troubling. We would do best to move with our plans and quickly. But a deal is a deal.
You have done service to the hunt in telling us, I think. Perhaps.
Perhaps.
you made me like you a little more.
No. I wouldn't go that far.
Well, as I said, he's made me like him. I wasn't speaking for you. Unless you have now become me.
It is late. Viper, Arcan. See if you cannot get the lay of the land, find our way back, navigate perhaps back to the road.
At this time, give me a better chance just sleeping out.
Tane says, if we're to do this, I'd rather get this over with as soon as possible.
I agree. We do not have much time.
I would like to sleep, but if it is of such imperative, then let us get it done.
So what is your tale, Eel?
I look around because I was kind of hoping the
I
other
know
guys
what
would
you were
fuck
trying
off,
to
but I
do,
guess
yeah.
I'm not. I guess I'm gonna tell this story.
I mean, you can push for it if you want, right? But
I mean, I don't think Eel is gonna be explicitly like, you guys need to fuck off for me to tell the story.
I mean, you could also do the whole thing where you're just like, I'm going to be a dick and play language games.
No, because I don't. The content of the story is not what she cares about. It's the fact that she has to drop her guard to tell it.
mm-hmm.
And regardless of what I say it in, you'll see the change. But I think she continues to. I think she tells it anyway, and she sort of looks seriously at Tane and says, "You want to know what had me so spooked in that temple? I saw a face in that temple. face I have not seen since the last time I saw my master, the man who taught me to be who I am. That man killed him. Well, the man that wore that face killed him. And almost me and the rest of my cadre with me. Powerful anathema to Luna. He caught us unprepared when we thought we had him cornered. I was so unprepared because seeing that man's face in that time can mean one of two things. The source of this plague toppled a man who took on a full cadre of Wild Hunt soldiers and laughed. Or that whoever placed that face did so to mock me. And that knowledge scared me.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Is he sincere?
Seems to be.
Okay.
It says, and I'm sorry that I don't think I can offer any interpretation of your story.
I would not concern yourself too much with that. Because if what you tell us is true, then there is a sorcerer in Thorns who will have more than enough answers.
He just looks at you through the gloom and his expression is momentarily quizzical and then somber. And he says, "That way is only death."
I have heard that before.
You may do as you please once we part ways. But do not say that I did not warn you.
Consider it heeded.
Let's go. Sorry. Someone else should give the orders, shouldn't they? I'm new to this.
Again?
Well, Shikari, I Mercer.
You left the Shikari behind.
No,
in
there's still one
somewhere.
here.
Oh,
There's 2 here, right?
okay.
Well,
what, Viper.
No, that's what this is, right? We press
Oh,
counted.
okay. Yeah, sure.
I'm not sure he'll agree, but sure.
Shikari. Luckily, a noun that is indistinct whether it's singular or plural.
Yeah.
Mercer. Let's go. We will
Yes, let us go, Mon Capitan.
make
Be on our way.
Sasa talk at last.
Okay, and I think that's where we'll leave the session.
Dun dun dun.
Phew.
I'm super happy with the let's just give Eel primetime television discussion. I wasn't expecting it.
Eel doesn't get enough primetime television.
I wasn't expecting it, but
Yeah,
just
it was
give
it was definitely the Eel and Friends show today.
Well,
I mean, no,
Yeah.
holy shit, those roles, right? So that was some big deal. That was
Oh, yeah,
some
I didn't
big
actually
deal
mark
stuff.
it.
Before we do it, I
Oh,
want
yeah,
to
let's mark
nominate
tests.
Eel as
I
workhorse.
actually forgot to mark my difficult stealthy test.
Oh yeah, didn't we not mark the
we
speed?
didn't mark any tests for earlier, so that's...
Yeah, I took a
let's do
challenge.
it now.
Oh wait, no, no, I should mark a routine because I don't need a difficult.
Okay. So everyone mark, if you haven't already, mark an ob 3 speed test, whatever that would be for you.
My speed is 4, so that's a difficult.
Difficult, yeah.
Oh wow, my my speed rank's up.
Nice.
I need one challenging, and then my speed goes to 5.
I'm pretty sure we have the option of the ob 3 or the
No, it was ob 3 because of the darkness.
no, but I'm pretty sure we have the option of taking the obstacle that he rolled, right?
No, because it's not an obstacle.
It's a versus test.
Um,
No, but that was to determine. That wasn't the thing, was it? That was to determine our positioning.
No, you start ordinary position, right? And then we made a roll as one of the exchanges, which was a versus test, right?
yeah, I ran into this with Jen recently as well. And I kept meaning to double check this and then didn't. I'm not actually sure how a versus test works in terms of marking an ob.
I've always assumed it's been whatever whatever number of successes the other person rolls. But
I've always used that assumption as well, but there was something that threw me off, and now I don't know at all.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make a note to actually look it up this time because I didn't when I thought about this last time. With that in mind, I'd say let's just leave it at ob 3.
Man, I need some difficult fort tests because I'm still stuck at fort 3.
Yeah. Everyone can mark, I think, a routine stealthy test.
Yep, done.
I don't need routines.
I can't mark it. I didn't actually help on the.
Oh, you didn't actually help on
Oh
that.
yes, no,
Okay.
you didn't help on the stealthy.
Yep.
Good.
I really wish I was slightly more winded so I could take on that chat, so I could get that challenging rhetoric and go rhetoric 6.
Yeah, I think I've marked all my tests.
Yeah, and then
This
I
session.
think
I've got I need to check.
Man, it's a real shame
And
I
then,
just made a million stealthy rolls that were all part of the same exchange, so I can't mark multiple tests.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you've got a difficult stealthy test there, Rob, instead of a routine if you want it.
No, but I don't need a difficult, so I'll take a
Okay,
routine.
yeah, so you can mark a routine instead then.
Yeah, done.
Yeah. Rob spent his deeds to catch Tane.
Yes. Spent my deeds to catch up with him.
Very worth.
Very worth, yeah,
I think so,
definitely.
yeah, because if he had got away, he would have been gone for the whole rest of this arc.
We not only do we now know about Thorns, but we also have an ally to take on whatever the fuck is awaiting us next session.
Tane is the stranger who they met a while back in a bar.
Yeah. Who has a higher strider than us.
Here's a
Looks
question.
sideways at him.
Is he handsome?
I'm gonna read my this fucker Tane list because I have this written down for a reason.
Okay.
Okay.
I can't wait for this.
1. Night vision. Ancient languages. Thinks the gods are manipulative. Cool bow. Green cloak. Nomad. Well travelled. Giant axe. Magic dagger? Question mark. Really, really pale. That's it.
Cool.
And now you can add stride 8 and speed
Potentially
7 to that
anathema?
list.
I feel bad if he's an anathema because like Viper
I
would
don't.
try and kill him just right off the bat, just like that's it out the window.
No, I think I am interested in the Viper feels bad about killing anathema. Right? Like, is there an anathema she can meet where she's like, well,
No, don't make her humanize it.
yeah, like that's an interesting thing to do.
Fuck, I don't know. Like, I don't know how Viper would react. I think she would just like explode. She just like cuts down the middle.
I am
This is how you
interested.
challenge belief.
If we have time, which I think we may, I would be interested in a duel of wits from Arcan against Viper on the basis of like you should humanize Panther. Stop referring to him as an it.
Yeah.
It is
I'd
sad
be
that we
interested
have to
to see
kill
that.
him. And then like I don't know what your verses on me would be, like, but
I think the verses is kind of obvious. It would be like you're a fool. That thing is a monster. What are you on about?
Yeah,
I believe you
I'm
should.
turning off.
Treat it more like a monster than a person.
I spoke to Rob about this, and I think I mentioned it to Jen as well. That duel of wits where your statements of purpose are directly opposed. Like you want X, and I want the exact opposite of X. Just don't work or feel.
no, I feel
satisfactory.
like that basis works because like all I have to do there is I have to like it's going from Arcan being like I am basically like I don't give a shit about the rules of the hunt or even the attitude of the hunt to
Yeah,
I'm going to actually treat these things like creatures to be hunted and killed
yeah,
rather than people to be talked to and negotiated with first in all situations, which is
Yeah.
like so far I have been the most colluding
You've-
like,
yeah,
member of the Wild Hunt possible,
yeah.
and it is only by grand chance that I've not been found out.
So
So-
actually, maybe this is a more interesting duel of wits in the courtroom between.
No, I feel like it's really good just before, right?
Okay.
Because-
I mean, I think that that directly opposed dual wits can work when you're both trying to persuade a third party in power who can actually enact the decision that you're trying to get.
But I don't know what I want in a courtroom either.
Yeah,
Right. I
yeah.
think the courtroom scene, I know something I have to do there, but I feel like I don't have a horse in the race of like what happens.
Yeah.
So I
mean,
feel like
yeah.
positioning it before the court scene might be most wise.
Yeah. But well, what I was going to say is maybe it's a debate not between Arcan and Viper. Maybe it's between Viper and Panther to convince Arcan.
I don't know.
Mm.
Like, because what would I do? Like, is that I don't feel that I'd agree with that because that's a Panther. Look, whatever Panther's statement of purpose is going to be, I'm probably not going to want. Right?
Mhm.
I'm really satisfied with the potential version that me and Scott just put forwards.
Yeah,
I mean, sure,
if
but, like,
you're both like willing
Yeah.
to accept, yeah, because that's the thing. It's like when you go into Duel of Wits, you have to be able to accept total failure.
Yeah. So like 3
Um,
weeks in advance, probably 3 weeks in advance, I am interested in doing that.
Yeah.
If you're okay with maybe Viper feeling sad about killing Anathema,
Yeah.
or being forced to recognize that Panther's a human.
Maybe, like, I don't know. I think I'd have to think on
We've
it
got a
because
while to think on it.
Because,
let's
yeah,
we can talk about this later.
I don't
We've
think,
got so
like-
much shit to resolve before then.
Yeah.
because, like, I don't think it's that Viper feels totally emotionless to killing like Viper. It's like
I think it's
I'm
it's a topic that we can explore
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
things
Anyway.
other than a straight up Duel of Wits as well. Yeah.
let's do
Yeah.
Arthur because it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I'd like some Arthur, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Martha, sir.
Have an Arta. There you
Cool. Thanks.
go.
Please can I have Persona Full Belief 1? Because Tane was not allowed to harm Masata, and he has become a valuable asset for the future. He was contained rather than killed, and we have potentially found a successful resolution to the god problem.
Yeah, sure. That's yep.
Yep. I did nothing towards Belief 2. I would like a Fate for Belief 3, because the Hunt's greatest weapons
Yeah.
were swiftness and subterfuge. We ran away and were incredibly stealthy the whole session.
Yep. Fate.
I kind of want to say something about my first instinct, because I acted completely contrary to my first instinct this session because I felt like it was relevant.
Wait, say that again.
I
If
acted
speaking would compromise our mission, say
If
nothing.
speaking would compromise our mission, say nothing. I told a complete stranger everything.
Yeah. I'd argue that's worthy of a mold breaker. So Persona instead of Fate.
If
Yeah,
everyone else is okay with that.
Yeah, I've said before that like mold breaking instinct, when it's dramatically appropriate, is reasonable as well as beliefs, especially if it's an instinct that you've had for a very long time, which that one is.
Cool. So I'm going to change that next session.
You don't have to get rid of it. If you repeatedly mold breaker something, then you should really get rid of it.
Okay.
But if you just mold breaker once, then it's not. You don't have to change it.
I will think about it.
Yeah.
I did nothing towards Instinct 2. I actually forgot about Instinct 3 because I could have wangled for it at the start of the sprinting
Yeah.
around, but yeah, I didn't think about that. I did not play to Ideologue. I did play to Seen Some Shit, so I'd like some Fate for that.
I'm not sure if it's your Seen Some Shit or Ideologue that played up more this session or not. Actually,
I didn't really like go super religious on things.
or democratic maybe.
I feel like Seen Some Shit is relevant because
Definitely relevant.
Yeah, because I sat down and talked about my trauma.
Yeah,
I had therapy.
Yeah, that's true.
And yeah,
Okay,
didn't really do my other traits that much.
Yeah, so 2 Fate, 2 Persona.
You Fate 2%, I'll take that.
Alrighty, Viper.
Hello. My belief 1, I guess, came up kind of like it was mentioned in a sense. Don't think it necessarily came into play though.
no, this came into play. Like
Huh?
he stopped you and he was like, "Viper, do you believe in anything?" And you actually, like you called yourself,
Yeah.
You're
He
really
asked,
bad at, like
Viper, do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? And you were like, no, I believe in the realm.
That's technically magic in a young girl's heart.
Fuck. What the hell is wrong with you?
Coffee, I guess. I completed my second belief. We figured out Tane's intentions. Yeah. We figured out that his intent was to heal the god in.
I don't think. Well, okay. Do you
It's
think you
either
know what
completed
Tane's
or
true intentions are?
yeah, but like in terms of what Viper knows, like that's his intentions.
So, does Viper believe she knows what Tane's intentions are?
Yeah, I think she's got a clear like a clear idea of what he's like. His intent is to heal the god, and if not, it's to kill him.
Okay.
And
Take it
it's
slowly.
yeah, it's either mode breaker or completed. So I mean,
Sure. Yeah.
and then I haven't worked towards my third at all. And then none of my instincts came up. Yeah, that's it. None of my traits either.
Also, I've just read your first belief for your third belief for the first time, and I can see a crime that has happened, and that is that there's no fucking apostrophe in crimes.
You know what? Because that annoys you, I'm keeping it there. I'm gonna be petty.
What?
Crimes is.
Stop fucking! I'm trying to do my damn Arthur.
There
Click
shouldn't
the
be an
damn fucking
apostrophe
sheet
in
again.
crimes.
Yeah,
Yeah, as in crime es. No apostrophe.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
crime. It's not crime is. It's
No.
not an abbreviation of crime is.
It was correct the whole time.
no, it wasn't. I corrected it.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't
if you're gonna
touch my
cover his
sheet.
crime up for him, then like, why are you even calling him out?
Yeah, don't
It's like-
touch my sheet.
It's like a
want my
policeman
touch
like,
your
searches
sheet
your
about
car and is like,
grammar mistakes.
well, I found loads of drugs in there, but don't worry, I've done them all. So I'm gonna take you to prison for possession of drugs. And you're like, what? You just stole my drugs and snorted them all. And now you're arresting me for owning them.
Also,
They're in
don't
your
go,
notes.
also,
For having once owned them.
also, don't go into my sheet and fix things by yourself. I don't go into your sheet and fix your mistakes.
That's because I don't make mistakes.
That's a
Wow.
flat out lie. But it stands, don't go into my sheet and touch things without like
Jesus.
telling me beforehand. As I said, don't do that. Like, I'm being serious. Don't go touching my sheet without like saying beforehand. It's really annoying.
It is definitely annoying when
No,
flipping between-
that was all I'm ever going to do to your sheet.
Okay, wait. Yeah, you didn't really do much for Panther this session. Instincts?
No, none really came up.
Yeah, perhaps not. I think you've already had fate at least once from not yielding to Tane.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you were pretty compliant with Tane this session. So yeah. Any traits? Do we think?
None that I can think of.
I mean, I really want to see the moment where you make use of Skinny.
I don't think I ever can. It's a weird physical characteristic that like I don't think will ever really come up.
You use it to like hide
Yeah.
behind cupboards.
Cosmetic traits are hard to get fate for. But it can be done in very specific circumstances. Why do you want to talk shit about the sheet C1J10? Okay, yeah. So just one fate, one persona then.
Yeah.
Not a huge haul this session, unfortunately, but at least you have a persona again.
I don't usually bring in a huge haul anyway. I'm
Hmm.
usually very small about what I bring in.
You must have done at one point, because didn't you have 10 fate until recently when you did like 3 stunts in a row?
I don't think I think that was just because I was a bit more like hesitant on using them for a while, and then like I just
Hmm.
like I think no I've kind of always like been burning them for like a while.
Yeah.
Right.
See, but yeah, Viper's getting pushed to her wit's end, whereas Eel has like, well, maybe not anymore, but Arkan definitely has like deep reserves of of Arthur at this point.
Well, I still have 12 Fate 3 Persona.
The issue
Well,
is, I'm spending some sessions being like just enjoying other people getting the limelight a lot,
Yeah.
which means that like and also for the conflicts, I've tended to like I've tended to make the best mechanical decisions rather than pushing for like me making
Yeah.
rolls. And so far,
and then there's a few times when I've asked if you want a roll for something, and then you go, "Nah, I'm okay," and I'm like, "Okay, then. Guess there's no roll. I guess I'm just
yeah,
gonna sap this information out of you for free then."
yeah. I mean, I feel like that. Well, I mean, that was part of like the Tane conversation, right?
Yeah.
Um,
But it's happened at other times as well.
yeah.
Well,
Uh,
do Arcan then?
oh yeah.
Yes, Arkham.
Belief 1. I don't know if this one came up. I feel like no. I feel like I am not being publicly, like I'm not publicly doing big things, or I'm not doing big things that I can boast about to the hunt, or like.
There was a line that you said which did stick out though, which was like, "Do not." You like yelled at Viper at one point. You were like,
Yeah,
"Do
I
not
yelled at
speak the
Viper.
name of my god."
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's enough to unearth her off, right? I don't,
Perhaps not, but it was definitely a definite highlight character moment. Let's say.
yeah. I mean, it was nice that like, it was just a nice moment from both of us. Right? It's like Scott pulls out a little catchphrase, and then it's just it gives me a real. It sort of set me up for a nice thing to say. So that's yeah. I don't really have much else. It was pleasing to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Believe 2, I changed mid-session. I didn't mention that I changed, but
Oh,
I
right.
feel like it was pretty obvious.
Let's see.
I have had
I mean,
enough
you
of
literally
Basata.
quoted it word for word.
I've had enough of Basata and with Tane. I'll wring the truth out of one or other of them with my bare hands.
Right. Yes.
I mean, you literally walked into the clearing and said that aloud. So.
Yeah. I think definitely Fate. I don't think I'm willing to give Persona.
That's fine.
Just because it, like, you changed that sort of quite recently.
I feel like I wasn't.
I want to see you.
If I was
work
more
that.
involved with the original conversation where we're like, where they got Tane to talk, then I would have been asking for Persona.
Yeah.
And if it had been me leading the role at the end, then I would have been asking for Persona. But as it was, it is Fate.
Yeah.
Belief 3 did not come up, and is probably going to change to something completely different.
I would argue actually that you kind of flipped on that, because you went from being like, yes, the god is amazing and we should do everything that we should to get the people back to praising him, to fuck this god, let's wreck his shit.
Yeah, Eel has told me that he's lied to me, and I now want to beat him. I don't know.
Is that Arkan's stance?
I mean, it seems to be like it seems pretty like
There was a
Let's
couple things you
just.
said where I wasn't quite sure whether you really meant it that way necessarily. Like, yeah, I guess like what is given today's revelations? What is Arkan's like thoughts on Masata now? Just to get it out there.
I don't trust him talking from a position of anything remotely resembling strength. We are going to put him in a position where he has no choice except to tell us everything that we want to know, and then we are going to force him to talk. And if we don't like the answers, then we will like just do whatever we feel like is best, right? And if it turns out he was a god after all, then I'll feel really angry with Tane, but not really like have any position except to go right. Okay, well, I guess we're going back to Plan A. Of after all of that fuss.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it basically like the level of his response will depend on whether we would work out and decide. Like if we decide Masata isn't a god at all, then yes, this is definitely completely gone. But if he
Right.
was a god after all, then like I'm back on this train, I guess.
Okay. What do we think this is a mold breaker then?
Yeah.
I think this is because I think the caveat is then that if you flip again next session, you don't get to flip it again.
I mean, yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't mold breaker back to this belief.
Okay.
But I think you could
Yeah.
definitely get it for this one because of the you kicked up a big stink about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And it was a perfectly in character stink as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
because I love the idea. It's like I don't like the idea that I've been lied to. It's like yeah, you are easily exploited, quite literally.
I think the phrasing was I don't like learning, but I've
been lied to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have just stopped at
Speaking
learning.
of, I suppose take a fate for easily exploited.
Wait, really? This session? I can't remember. Oh my lord.
In I'm trying to remember actually. Like when Masato first asked you to do all of this business, did you get a point for easily exploited then as well?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah. In that case, let's say no, because you've already done it once
Yeah.
for exactly the same situation.
Yeah.
So.
Other traits, not really.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Okay.
Humor and embodiment. Thoughts?
I mean, if we're not nominating Eel for embodiment, then I
Yeah,
wouldn't even
Eel
go.
for embodiment. I was gonna nominate Workhorse for Eel.
We don't get to do that.
We
Yeah.
do that at the end of the arc.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like
okay.
I feel like last
Then-
arc's workhorse and MVP were probably easier to work out because this arc is going to be a long workhorse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think embodiment then for
I'm cool with that. I'm back up to 4 persona.
look at you with your fancy 4 persona.
All right, I think we will leave it there.
Spent 2, gained 2.
So yeah.
Wait! Before we do, I want to give humor to Scott for making the jab about the deity, because that was totally in character humor.
What did she say?
By the name of Allah.
Yeah, that deserves in character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
yeah.
No, that was definitely in character game humor.
Boop, boop.
Sorry.
No,
Nice.
no, that's perfectly fair. Cool. So yeah, thanks for joining us. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening. And we will be playing again at the same time next week.
Or
Yeah.
earlier, depending if
Yay.
we're late or not.
We may be plus or minus an hour.
Yeah.
Probably will be late.
Probably
so
plus.
don't hold your breath.
To answer a question in chat from like years ago, I think Look Shy hasn't happened yet. Like we're solidly in the past here, relevant to Donati's campaign.
Well, I just established this session that Thorns happened a couple, like
Yeah,
an indeterminate amount of months ago,
yeah,
and so Look Shy happened 3 or 4 months after that.
yeah.
So Look Shy probably now has happened, but news hasn't reached you yet.
Okay.
It's
okay.
like literally happened a matter of weeks
It's
ago.
happened. It's been happening whilst you've been sorting out this Mistasa shit, maybe.
Right. Okay.
Which now kind of establishes where the timelines are. It's like the begin. It's coming. You're coming to the end of winter in realm year 766.
Does that mean we get a dope calendar like Donati has?
Maybe.
Shit.
I don't want a
Dude.
calendar. I
I
like
really
the
wanna-
idea of the passage of time being vague and menacing.
Mm.
I really like a calendar.
That was like one of the first things you said to me. You were like, "I really want my
Calendars
calendar,"
are great,
and I
and,
haven't
and
given you
nicely designed calendars are even better.
one.
Anyway, good
We'll see.
night.
Good night.
Thank you for listening, and yeah, good night.